Whoa! I'm late. Surprise. Shocker. Shocker. I've never been on time for a single thing in my entire life. Ever. Ever. I'm either early or late. No in between. No in between. Even to the stuff that I plan. I put that time in the fucking schedule. My bitrate went down as soon as I switched over to the live scene. What's going on? Why is this happening to me? Why do good things happen to me? Wait, why do bad things? Huh. What am I trying to say? Why is my bitrate in the shitter? Explain. Everything's running fine. Guys, why are you going crazy? Stop going crazy like that. Get back. Just popping through. Zoinks. Anyways, what are we doing? Right. We're watching YouTube. Shocker. 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 We're watching the ugly side of kids' TV. This side can have cat's water. It's a YouTube documentary, it seems, of the sort. Dogs are going fucking nuts. They're too much, all the time. Don't get dogs. But do? I don't know. Maybe I need a lot more. Maybe that'll fix my problem. Why is the bitrate so bad? Guess it doesn't matter. Everything seems to be running fine. Maybe it's just too high. Too good. My bitrate's too good. Smoke too fat. Pain is too lean. Anyways, we're watching The Ugly Side of Kids TV by Paper Will. I haven't, I don't think I've watched any of their videos before, but this caught my eye, and so did the entertainment that's made like cults. We'll watch that a different day, maybe, but and I like that it's broken into chapters. That means they put a lot of thought into it. So let's, I don't know, fucking watch it. Let's begin.
Josh, Dexter's Lab, Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Forgot to unmute.
Was Pokemon or the... When you were growing up, what was your favorite kids' TV show? Maybe it was Pokemon or the Magic School Bus, Drake and Josh, Dexter's Lab, Adventures of Pete and Pete. Really, your favorite kids show could have been anything. But for me, it was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Fuck yeah.
Story. 5 teenagers given color.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was so good.
Defending the Earth against the forces of evil. Premiering in 1993, the show was an instant hit with kids, and it's easy to understand why.
Okay, I don't know if it's actually touched upon in this video at all, but this is just something I found out recently. Apparently, all of the, like, in-suit Power Rangers stuff is from a different show in, like, China or Japan. It's just, like, it's a, not copy, but it's like it follows the same plot lines, and it still does to, like, this day. Even... I was like looking it up, and even the Power Rangers, I think the last fucking series I watched of it was the samurai ones, and even that was like all the in suit stuff was from this other show, and it's like cool. They like know that it's not like they're like ripping off this show, but. It just, I never knew about it. And even, like, all of them are. Like, SPD is even based on a different one. Like, they're all, the magic one, the dinosaur one, they're all different. They're all just different iterations of, what is it called? What is it called? What is Power Rangers based on? Super Sentai. That's it. Yeah, see? It's these guys. It's like, it's the exact same. I had no idea. Yeah. Every single season of Power Rangers has a corresponding season of Super Sentai.
It had superheroes, martial arts,
get out of the cat's water,
lasers, giant robot battles, all wrapped
I
up in
love
a
Power
single
Rangers.
30-minute
I
package,
fucking
and
love
loved
Power
it.
Rangers.
I watched it every day after school, as soon as I got home, and my favorite character was the Blue Ranger, Billy.
Okay, weird.
Billy was the worst fighter.
Yeah, he was also the lamest. He was the nerd. Why would you choose Billy? Why would you choose Billy?
He starts the series as a
It's obviously Tommy. Tommy's the best ranger, hands down.
white belt, but he made up for it with his brains over brawn approaches to conflict and his clever inventions. Teleporters, mind-switching machines, flying cars. Billy made being nerdy cool back when being nerdy wasn't cool. For me, he was Power Rangers. And so one day, Billy just sort of vanished. Out of nowhere, the show threw together this really bizarre story of him just going off to live on an alien planet with a goodbye video obviously voiced by a different actor.
Guys, I've made a really important decision. I'll miss you all, but I'm going to stay here on Aquatalk with Session.
I don't remember this at all.
After 200 episodes on the series, Billy literally got poochied. I'm annoyed that I stopped watching the show entirely.
Billy died on the way back to his home planet. My vape just fell. Continue.
Why the actor who played Billy, David Yost, left so suddenly remained a mystery for years until 2010, when he finally revealed that things behind the scenes weren't so more phenomenal. Yost quit the show because some of the producers and crew had been ruthlessly bullying him.
Oh, wait, no, I did know about
David Yost
this.
got so depressed that he
That's
started
just
having
awful.
thoughts about, not being alive anymore. So he quit the show, enrolled in gay conversion therapy, which obviously made things worse.
No,
and he suffered a complete
that
mental breakdown.
sucks.
But problems like this behind the scenes in kids' TV certainly aren't rare. Hi, I'm Paper Will. I make deep dive content about unusual media, and today we're looking into the less pleasant side behind children's television shows. Think abusive production, censorship, weird lawsuits, the lives of TV animals, controversies, and more. Welcome to the ugly side of kids' TV. Hit it!
Ooh, there's a theme song. It reminds me of a
Joy
famous
Junction
Bird
was a
theme song.
Christian-themed television game show, with each episode based around teaching a lesson from the Bible. The audience was divided into teams, and members from each team participated in various physical challenges, like
Based off of the way that the host looks, already getting bad vibes from this show.
paper throwing,
This is not gonna end good.
hopping, ice cream scooping, and line Pepsi can pouring, which I don't think they're allowed to do that, but they did it.
Find your opener. Quick, open another bottle.
At the end of each show, the team with the most points would win all the
Huh?
prizes, like these sweet watches. What were the watches for?
Just pouring Pepsi?
That it is always time to put God first.
While Joy Junction lacked high-budget values, it's clear that the cast and crew put a significant amount of time and effort into the production. Occasionally, they'd go all out in creating these elaborate costumes and set pieces, some of which would only get used for a few seconds. That's impressive! In between the physical
There's a
challenges,
puppet.
the show also featured painters, comedians, cooks, some of the most uncomfortable children you have ever seen, as well as really
They do
big
not
silly
want to
announcements,
be there.
like this one about having patience before snack time.
Something to eat. Gotta have a treat. Something to munch. Can't wait to lunch. Food. Gotta fill my tummy.
Look,
The growl that little girl has on her voice. That's insane. She's gonna be a great singer. Wait, this came out in the 1980s. Who is she now? That girl grew up to be Miley Cyrus. That was a fucking bop.
I know it's easy to poke fun at stuff like this, but honestly, for a bunch of 12-year-olds, that's not a terrible music performance, and it's certainly not
What?
the worst
No,
of
that
those.
was good.
Let's talk about the puppeteer, Ronald Brown. Brown's Christian ventriloquist work had developed a strong following at his local churches, making him a perfect fit for Joy Junction. Brown even hosted weekly pizza parties at his house for many of the kids, and it seemed like everybody in the community really liked this guy.
Hate that.
All of that would just be wholesome and neat and great, if not for the fact that Ronald Brown really wanted to eat some children.
I'm sorry, what? That's not the turn I thought that was gonna make at all. I thought it was gonna be like he was like a P word, not like a cannibal. He wanted to eat the kids. I'm sorry, what?
Told you things are gonna get, ugly today. Doesn't get much uglier than predator, cannibal, puppet.
That's what we're starting off with?
Children. The first signs that Brown might not be such a great guy would be in the early
1990s when he looked like that.
1990s when, during a routine traffic stop, police noticed something unusual in the backseat of his car. Children's undergarments. Brown, thinking told the cops that
God.
the undergarments were for his puppet, Marty, which was somehow accepted by the police as a not insane thing for a human to say, and they just let the man go. In 2013, the truth finally came out as Ronald Brown was arrested for participating in an online community of predators surrounding the practice of, well, a lot of horrible things, but mainly the eating children stuff.
But did he really?
According to the chat logs
Did he
from the
actually?
trial, Brown would even refer to his targets that he had met on the show as his, and I'm quoting here, little piglets who would make for fine Easter feast.
What the fuck?
Fortunately, Brown was sentenced to 20 years in prison for his involvement in that community.
20 years? Just 20 years? For eating children. For being a television host and luring children to eat. He got 20 years, thank God. We locked that monster up. We gave him real justice. I'm sorry, he ate kids. You don't let him out of prison. Ever. The dude ate people. 20 years? Unless he was like 80 years old already, that's not a good sentence.
And considering his old age, that's probably going to be a life sentence. Hopefully.
Let's find out. Let's find out. Is that a life sentence? Is that a life sentence? Junction. Who was the host? Oh, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Joy Junction. What was his name? Ronald Brown? Ronald William Brown. There we go. I'll copy that. And then, what? Paste that. Oh, he doesn't have a fucking... No, he's not even 60. He wasn't even 60. He's still alive. And this was... How long ago was this? 2013? He's halfway done. And... yeah, he's halfway done already. He's not gonna die in prison. He's not that old.
A quick announcement here.
No! He ate kids, bro! Keep him in prison!
Any objections?
What?
Everybody okay
What?
with that? Alright, then we're all on the same page. But for television network executives in the mid-20th century, the fact that tobacco was already widely known to be dangerous, well, that wasn't really a big enough deterrent for Hanna-Barbera cartoons to reject that smooth, succulent tobacco ad money.
Okay? How's about taking that? I got a better idea. Let's take a Winston break.
And while it's kind of fun to laugh at how absurd
Okay.
these ads are, there's also a sad twist here that the entire main cast of the Flintstones would all eventually pass away due to smoking-related illnesses. Still, in 1967, the FCC started enforcing what's called the Fairness Doctrine on tobacco ads. For every 3 cigarette ads on television stations, 1 anti-smoking commercial would have to be aired and paid for by the tobacco industry.
That's not fair.
The
I
compromise
feel like there
worked
should be 3.
decently
That's not fair.
well, and the anti-tobacco ads led to a sudden and dramatic drop in smoking rates in the United States, somewhere between 5 to 10%.
Yo, yo,
Eventually,
yo.
smoking
We're
ads
watching
on TV were
YouTube.
banned entirely,
What's
but
up with you?
also not really, since cigarette companies could still pay for
How you
advertisements on
doing?
billboards and signs in sporting events that were being televised, like NASCAR and especially baseball. For decades, you could find a tobacco company's logo and name out there in the bleachers, especially visible during home runs, you know, the moment people are paying the most attention to. Even when sporting agencies started cracking down on logos, sponsors got really clever in hiding their ads anyway. But I'm getting off track.
Wait,
This
what?
video is supposed to be about... Sponsors got really clever in hiding their...
The car moves, the lines blur together and appear to make a marvel. How do you get away with that? Like if it's paid by, if that little paint job is paid for by Marlboro, and it goes fast and makes the logo, then it's the logo, right?
Your ads anyway. But I'm getting off track. This video is supposed to be about kids' TV stuff, like how in 2015, Juul Labs, the electronic cigarettes maker, bought advertisements to display on various children's TV websites like CartoonNetwork.com and Nickelodeon.com.
I want to
In
see
their
one of
defense,
those
Juul
ads.
claimed that they weren't intentionally marketing to underage users, and hey, I'm sure there's some adults on CartoonNetwork.com. But how about the other sites they advertise on, like CoolMathGames.com?
Thank you. I was told this shirt makes me look like Charlie Sheen.
BasicMathematics.com, and oh, this one's great.
Ah, the cat's one.
SocialStudiesForKids.com. Holy shit, Juul.
What?
SocialStudiesForKids.com. Holy shit, Juul.
Okay, I can understand a vaping ad on cool map games. That makes sense, because it's cool, right? Fucking sick. But social studies, come
In
on.
2020, the Massachusetts Attorney General's office filed a lawsuit over these ads, which is currently ongoing, but not looking great for Juul. And in 2015, there
What
was
was this
also
video
mounting
made?
pressure on Puff Bar for targeting
Here you go.
teens with flavors like pina colada, watermelon, and a flavor literally called OMG. Just for a second, we're going to pretend that OMG is a flavor because obviously it's not a real flavor.
Orange, mango, grapefruit. That's a flavor. It doesn't stand for, oh my god.
What the hell would that be?
Think you
That's
look a
still
little
not
like
flavor that you
Macaulay
market to
Culkin.
adults.
Thank you?
You know what? Maybe smoking ads for children and that creepy-eyed, now in turn puppet tiny people eater were a little too heavy for our first couple of topics. Let's do something fun next. Just kidding, this one's gonna suck too. Here's a list of beloved animal stars that aren't alive anymore.
Right.
Keiko, the orca from Free Willy, the dog from Air Bud, Mr. Ed the horse, Spuds McKenzie, the dog from Little
No,
Rascals.
Macaulay
That was
Culkin's
like
fine.
100
You're
years ago.
cool.
Of course he's dead.
Don't apologize.
Most dogs who have played Lassie. Sad, but again, not unexpected. All
I mean,
40
technically, like, pre... What, 2015? 2010? Most TV animals and movie animals are dead, right? Unless they're like a bird. It's not like a lot of, I don't know. I guess Mr. Ed would make sense. I mean, what year did Mr. Ed die? How long did he live for?
See, the dog from the Little Rascals. Okay, that was like 100 years ago. Of course he's dead.
No, Airbud's not dead.
Most dogs who have played Lassie, sad.
They're
but again,
still making Airbud movies. Airbud's not dead.
48 of the pigs who played Babe the Pig. All of
I'm
them?
sorry, 48?
All-
Why did they need 48 babes? I thought there was only 3 movies. How many Babe movies are there? No, there's only 2. Why did you... Why did you need 48 pigs for Babe and Babe 2 Pig in the City? That feels concerning. That feels concerning. Maybe since Babe is like a piglet, they can't, like, maybe pigs grow too fast? And they just, like, it's not like they're killing the pigs. Let me just actually... Is Airbud dead? Six months later, Airbuddy died in his sleep due to complications from cancer. I'm sorry, what? He had dog cancer? But that's a sad. That 1997. He was 9. That's sad. That's sad. That's sad. Anyways.
How long do pigs live? And finally, that little sneezing baby panda Chi-Chi, who, yes, had their own movie, and yes, is also dead. So,
Why did the sneezing panda have its own movie?
Television? Truthfully, not that much. None of those animals' deaths were the fault of Hollywood or TV. They lived full, healthy, happy lives before dying. Well, not the Little Rascals dog. Yeah, he got straight up poisoned by somebody on set, which is messed up. Oh, or Keiko.
What?
He got dumped into the ocean and then never really assimilated with other orca and then died alone of pneumonia. But the other animals, full lives, full happy lives. Still, it's at least fair that we delve into humanity's rocky history when it comes to animals being used or abused for entertainment. Here's a neat ancient Roman history fact. You already knew that
You should feel
lions
bad for
were
that.
used in the
You should
Colosseum
feel
arena
bad for
games, but did you
introducing me to
know that when the
Airbud's
Romans
untimely
first dropped
demise.
lions into the pit to fight people,
That's fucked up,
lions,
you.
They just kind of wouldn't. It's true. In the early games, these terrified friggin' lions got tossed into an enclosed space with 100,000 people screaming at them and did what anybody would do, what I would do. They just went and hid in the corners. The audience was mighty disappointed by that, although you have to imagine that the people in the arena were probably pretty thrilled. To make sure that lions would be more aggressive, the Roman animal trainers started breeding them inside the halls of the Colosseum and conditioning them to attack people.
TikTok clip? I mean, I'll react to it after
Things
this.
have improved for animal entertainment in the modern era, but there are still unpleasant
Stop
stories
drinking
from
the
behind
cat's
the scenes.
water.
Let's talk about Flipper.
Inspired by the 1950s TV show Lassie, which was about a dog that went around and helped people out of dangerous situations, Flipper was about a dolphin that went around and helped people out of dangerous situations. You may be thinking, hey, how many situations can a dolphin actually help people in? And the answer is, not that many. So the writers had to keep coming up with increasingly elaborate and implausible scenarios that could somehow only be resolved by a wicked smart dolphin.
They should have sent Flipper to space.
Oil rig counterfeit operation bust.
How fucking cool would it have been?
They put a dolphin on a plane.
Okay,
Take him to
that's
a
pretty
laboratory
close.
that wants to teach him how to speak English. There's a communist spy plot. There were multiple episodes where Flipper eats something valuable, like a bracelet or whatever, and everyone's like, well, Flipper, thanks for always saving our dumbass kids, but this rich woman really wants that diamond necklace you ate. We're just gonna have to cut you open to get it. Yep. This happened like 3 times in a show with 60 episodes.
What?
Flipper was a weird f***ing show.
Did they actually cut him open though? Or was that resolved?
Kathy, who had been caught in the wild and trained for performances, and by all accounts, Kathy seemed to enjoy working on the series, and there's no evidence of mistreatment by her trainers or the staff during production. But after the show ended, things took a downward turn for Kathy's well-being. She was sent to live in a
But yeah,
small
she's no longer a
town in Miami
star. She got the
area,
BoJack
which,
Horseman
after
treatment.
years of frequent outings for show filmings and constant human interaction, she had a lot of trouble adjusting to. According to the staff there, Kathy wouldn't eat, wouldn't swim, and eventually started intentionally hurting herself against the walls of the chamber, a thing dolphins apparently do. The staff called him
Jesus
Mr.
Christ.
Kathy's former trainer from the show, who said that when he found Kathy, she swam into his arms, held her breath, and passed out in the water, dying soon after. Barry believes her death was intentional, self-termination.
If I can
Jesus
if I can jump on a
Christ.
soapbox for a second here, something TV studios and Hollywood in general are usually really good at is protecting animal performers during show productions.
That's not
At least They are
true
now.
at all.
But there's
Oh,
no
okay.
additional
Okay.
regulations
Yeah, I was
on
about to say, they are, in fairness, they are now, but no. No. They didn't, like, the reason John Wayne died is because a bunch of horses kicked up a bunch of irradiated dirt in the New Mexico desert, or Nevada desert. It didn't just kill John Wayne, you know that, right? Killed like 15 to 30 horses.
Animal stars are cared for off-set after a show ends.
In the late 1960s, television
Oh,
producer
no.
Joanne Gans Cooney and early educational specialist Lloyd Morissette
Oh,
were developing
no.
plans for a new kind of children's television program.
Oh,
focusing
what's the
on
dark side of the
educating
Muppets
children
going to
instead of
be?
just
I can't handle
entertaining.
this.
But they needed a way to keep kids' attention for the entire length of the show's runtime, and the answer was puppets. Enter Jim Henson. Henson had made a name for himself in television, puppeteering with both his short-lived but popular 1950s series Sam and Friends, as well as a few well-received talk show performances. Cooney and Morissette asked Henson and his team to design, craft, and perform as the show's puppets, or Muppets as Henson called them. Henson agreed to help, and in 1969, Sesame Street hit the air. Parents loved the learning-centric elements of the show, and everybody loved Henson's creations like Big Bird, Oscar the Grouch, and Cookie Monster. Now, Henson was proud of his work on Sesame Street, but he also wanted to produce a show of his own.
So in 1973, Henson pitched a new series idea using a mock-up pilot video, which was just fantastic.
A show that will be loved and adored by every Nielsen home in the country. Freaky, long-haired, dirty, cynical hippies will love our freaky, long-haired, dirty, cynical Muppets. And we'll all get temperamental
This isn't
and hard
bad.
to work with, but you won't care, because we'll all make a lot of money.
And in a really weird twist of fate, one of the executives he pitched to at ABC with this show was none other than a young Michael Eisner, a man who would later become an infamous CEO of Disney. That'll be important later, but Eisner loved the Muppets so much that he greenlit the project not just for one, but for 2 more pilot episodes, including the Muppet Show Sex and Violence, which is not what it sounds like, but you kind of wish it was, right?
While ABC ultimately passed on the Muppets, British channel ATV swooped in and ordered a full season of the project, giving us the Muppet
There's that
Show.
Defunctland
The series debuted to
TV
incredible success, running for
like
5
series
seasons,
all
getting
about this
21
like
Emmy
Henson
nominations,
thing.
and
It's really
launching
cool.
Movies, merch, and puppet cartoons. Thanks to Henson, as well as the hardworking
Everyone
crew of
likes
both
freaky
shows,
hair,
Sesame Street and
long
the
hair,
Muppets
cynical
became
hippies.
cultural super icons
Except for
both
short
kids
hair
and the world. And before
fuckers.
we get into all the ugly stuff, let me just say without the slightest bit of shame, I adore both of these shows. Seriously, when's the last time you sat down and watched either series? I think because we grow up
Pretty
with these
recently.
shows, we lose some appreciation for how incredibly talented and innovative the people working on them really are. Like, look at this shot from the Muppets Take Manhattan. That's not
I
green screen, that's not editing.
do
That's
highly
a
recommend. I do highly recommend watching it's like Defunct TV Jim Henson. It's like all about the creation of the Muppets and like all of his endeavors with like Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, what is the Storyteller and the Dog one? Is it just called The Storyteller? But it's like it's just about that and like his life and death and legacy, and it's really good, really in depth. Look at Jim Henson's work. I really recommend it if Muppets and Sesame Street is like on your radar.
50 people helping to puppet these classic characters. And
The
then there's
Muppets
Sesame
movies are
Street,
so
which has released
fucking
over
good.
5,000
I love the
episodes
Muppets.
of high-quality educational
I
television.
love the
If you tried to
Muppets.
binge every episode of Sesame Street, it would take you over 140 days, over 4 months of uninterrupted binging to catch up. And there were multiple studies showing that kids who watched Sesame Street as young children had improved educational outcomes in elementary school and higher learning. Sesame Street is awesome. Plus, I think I've watched the outtakes of John Oliver and the Cookie Monster at least a dozen times.
Is this why people are upset that Larry David attacked Elmo? Is this why? Because they're too attached to Elmo? Because I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, obviously I grew up with Elmo too. Everyone grew up with Elmo. He's fucking 60 years old. But like... Come on. He's allowed to get palmed at least once in his life.
What kind of belt you wearing?
Still, even these great series have their ugly sides. After Henson's tragically early passing in 1990, it would fall to Henson's children to choose who would replace him as the main performer of Kermit the Frog. They'd eventually choose Steve Whitmire, who seemed like a great choice as he'd worked...
The best voice for Kermit. After... yes, after Henson. I will say after Henson, because obviously Henson's the best. But I do not like the new voice for Kermit. I don't know who it is, but... It's bad. It's bad. It's really bad.
Worked closely with Henson in nearly every Muppet production since the 1970s. Until Michael Eisner stepped in. Yeah, he's not done. See, the former ABC executive was now the CEO of Disney. Eisner had remained a huge fan of the series over the decades, and in 2004, he purchased the Muppet series for Disney. Unfortunately, Whitmire and the Big Cheese instantly developed an antagonistic relationship. Whitmire blamed Disney for the fighting, claiming that his aggressive pushback against them was always
he
done to
got
protect Henson's vision for
fired
the series,
after
while Disney
like
argued
those
that
two live-action
Whitmire
Muppet
had been
movies.
making outrageous
The one with
demands,
Jason
harassing
Segel.
writers and directors, and refusing to have a Kermit understudy so he could never be replaced. It's tempting to take Whitmire's side. After all, he was part of Henson's core team and had been an integral part of the Muppets franchise for years, but Disney wasn't the only party unhappy with him. Henson's own family claimed that Whitmire had been trying to take the series hostage, especially by refusing to have an understudy. Understand, it takes years to learn how to master one of these puppets well enough to seamlessly transition between puppeteers. For example, Matt Vogel, who took over performing Big Bird in 2015...
No, the guy from like How I Met Your Mother. Not Steven Seagal.
Muppets ain't no joke.
The better. No, it's Jason Segel, not Seagal. Segel. My bad. I fucked that. That's my fault.
Or being a prima donna is up for you to decide, but personally I suspect it was a little column A, column B. Either way, things came to a head, and Whitmire's firing by Disney was leaked on the largest Muppets fan site, touchpig.com, that's a really gross name, by the way. I don't know why they would name... But the Muppet Show wasn't the only Henson series to run into trouble with their main mascot.
Of course it's not Touch Pig. Why would it be Touch Pig?
Here that Elmo's a relative newcomer to the Sesame Street franchise, only becoming a main cast Muppet in 1985 with puppeteer Kevin Clash. Clash would continue working as Elmo's puppeteer for almost 25 years until 2012 when he was accused of inappropriate...
I remember this.
Teenager. Now, we're not going to go into all the specifics because it's kind of...
I remember this on the news.
Twists and turns, internal investigations, allegations being made... And
no, I still have not watched
remade,
Renfield.
Ultimately, the lawsuits were dismissed by the trial
My
judge.
bad.
Within
It's still
the
on the
Sesame
watch
Street fan
list.
community, there is a
Get out of the cat water.
split over whether Kevin Clash was guilty or innocent, but whatever the truth was, Kevin ended up leaving the project in 2013, and I think that was probably for the best. Not all problems and controversies with children's shows start behind the scenes, though. Sometimes it's the content itself. Like that episode of Total Drama-Rama where the kids want to get sick and stay home from school, so they go around licking things and like surfaces and floors trying to spread germs, which got aired right around the time of the COVID-19 pandemic, which was getting started.
Wait, what?
What is this
Or
show?
The Danish show John Dillerman, which was about a man and his giant...
I don't remember fucking Tiny Drama Island.
And like surfaces and floors
This is like Baby Muppet, but Total Drama Island?
the time of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Didn't they... What? Isn't the canon that they met on that island in the first season? They didn't know each other before that, right? What the fuck is this? You can't just start adding new lore on top of this. You can't just fucking shoehorn it in like that. That's fucking breaking canon. They weren't friends beforehand, I thought. No one knows each other. Baby Muppets make sense. They all have a rapport with one another. Baby Looney Tunes make sense. They all have a rapport with one another. They all have like a brotherly, sisterly, sibling bond. You like feel it when you watch it. Like, these people go way back. But like, if you watch the first season of like Total Drama Island, it is, or I guess, is there only one season of Total Drama Island? Anyways, if you watch it, like, everyone like builds their relationships throughout the show. The fuck is this?
Started.
And people are voted off throughout the series. I don't know.
Or
Wait,
that
no, they
Danish
aren't.
show John Dillerman,
Yeah, they are.
which was about a man and
Yeah,
his
they are.
giant prehensile tool that he used to do stuff like decorate Christmas trees or helicopter.
Oh, I've heard of
or
this.
even save children with. Can I show this? Do I need to mosaic this? No, that's worse.
This was
That's
on
worse.
John Oliver, right?
Yeah, that's fine. And there are hundreds, thousands of examples of problems caused by kids' television that have garnered outrage for any number of things. Way too many things for us to cover in one video. So instead, how about I just talk about a few
fucking
examples of what
reading
I
all
think are
those titles, trying to
particularly
figure it
interesting
out.
Outrages and controversies. Starting with Tiny Toon Adventures. Set in the Looney Tooniverse, which is a thing, I guess, Tiny Toons followed a
Jakey,
new cast of
get out of the cat
cartoonists
water.
studying at Acme University who one day want to become big cartoon stars themselves. It was created as a collaboration between Warner Brothers and Amblin Television, Steven Spielberg's TV production studio, which was also notable for bringing us classics like Animaniacs, Freakazoid, Pinky and the Brain, and the Harry and the Hendersons TV sitcom, which
What?
was a real thing that happened, and there's nothing any of us can do to change that. But since Tiny Toons was an animated
That breaks
show,
the lore too. That doesn't make sense. They give him. Yeah. How does a fucking sitcom fit into the Harry and the Hendersons
in
universe?
the early 1990s,
I need to know.
occasionally dipped into the very special lesson episodes. You know, stories and otherwise usually funny shows that try to ham-fistedly teach kids about the dangers of eating disorders and drugs and STDs and underage drinking, like that Tiny Toons episode, One Beer. In One Beer, Buster, Plucky, and Hampton decide to have a brewski and get drunk, leading to alienating classmates and getting into a bunch of bad decisions, and even ending with them driving off a cliff in a stolen police car.
I'm
Things
sorry,
you do when you're
what?
Of course, it's then revealed that the whole episode was a PSA by the characters to show the dangers of drunk driving, I think, but still. The episode One Beer caught the attention of a lot of parental groups who felt the whole episode was
What?
a little too dark.
Oh, just a tad.
For kids, and successfully
Just a
managed to
bit.
get the whole
A
episode
tad.
right.
A touch.
Hey, it's great to educate minors about mature
Sprinkle.
topics, but truthfully, the episode One Beer just isn't very good. In fact, the episode is so unpopular that there's a theory that the show's
None of the
writers
PSA episodes of any show are good.
of the network's pressuring them to add more morality to episodes like this, which makes sense considering the little dig at the end of the episode.
So, do we get to do a funny episode tomorrow? I hope so.
I'm gonna guess what the Pokemon one is. Yep, prepare for legal trouble and make it double. Hospitalized children, lawsuits and spoons. We're gonna blah 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 something all. It's obviously the fucking Porygon episode, right? Porygon. I don't know what that means because it's in between like a shit ton of other words.
But Tiny Toons wasn't the only 90s cartoon that had its share of controversy. In the first season of the Pokemon animated series, there was a huge scandal over episode 38, Electric Warrior Porygon. In fact, a lot of you probably think you already know this tale, right? Old episode of Pokemon, only aired in Japan once.
Let me guess, he's gonna tell me I'm wrong! I've had the story wrong this whole fucking life!
Bunch of flashing lights during a battle caused thousands of children to get sick or suffer.
I made a Discord. If you do the like exclamation point socials, it'll give you like a list and the links and stuff. Nobody's in it, but I made it in case anyone joins it. No one's done it yet, so.
And flashes scene with a series of bright, quick-shifting red and blue lights. The same kind of quick-shift lights.
Maybe. I hope it works. We'll see. Just don't be, I don't know.
The episode aired in Japan, there was a mass occurrence of young viewers experiencing nausea, sickness.
I've never had a
headaches,
Discord
and
before,
headaches, with over
but
600 viewers taken to hospitals,
hopefully
all
I'll be
kids.
like
News channels were quick to cover the unfolding
I don't know,
emergency, warning parents to check
a good
to see
enough
if their children were
moderator.
okay, and also to erase any VHS recordings they might have made, you know, because of this. Although a shiny 100 yen coin to the geniuses at One News Channel's coverage, who apparently re-aired the dangerous footage over and over and over again while talking about it, which caused more kids to get sick before somebody realized, hey, let's stop doing that. Good going there, team. In the weekly episode aired, there was over 12.
There's something about news broadcast journalism that is just like always been shit. Like, there's so many times where like the news has fucked up with a like ongoing raid or something like that, like a hostage situation where the where the like kidnappers can see on television live like where the SWAT team's coming in because the news just has to be involved. And it's like this same shit. Like, because they're just like, I don't know, the need to be on top of the story, they like somehow completely oversaw the fact that they're just replaying the same thing. They're like just doing the same thing that Pokemon did.
1,000 kids reported feeling ill
I
over
appreciate
electric
not
warrior
being
Porygon.
complete
Nintendo announced an
degenerate
official apology, and they even stopped
scumbag
airing new
fuck.
episodes of the show for a while. Many anime, especially the ones for children, began
Joins
airing short
immediately
messages before
posts Mario
broadcasts, warning
Goatsy.
kids not to watch the show in a dark room, a practice that persists even today. And while Pokemon would return to television a few months later, it's pretty crazy to think 12,000 children were hurt by Nintendo's irresponsible animation. Or were they? What if I told you that this Porygon episode story was completely made up? Well, no, that would make me a liar. All that stuff actually happened. But there is some debate over whether or not the episode was as dangerous as people first thought. Let's talk about that 12,000 number. Yes, the original 600
I mean,
kids
obviously
taken to
that's
hospitals
insane.
immediately after watching the episode absolutely suffered a negative side effect from the show, but of those 600 kids, only about 150 were hospitalized for seizures or severe symptoms, although 150 kids in a hospital, still pretty bad. But the other 11,500 children who reported symptoms only started feeling sick in the days after the episode aired. Weird, right? Like, why would kids start getting sick in the days after seeing the episode? Well, several studies have suggested that while the episode was absolutely dangerous to children prone to photosensitive epileptic seizures, the majority of kids likely develop side effects due to mass hysteria. Which makes sense. The kids watch the episode, feel fine, but then they go to school, and the next day everybody's talking about how that episode makes you feel sick. And then they go home, and their parents are talking about that episode that is supposed to make you feel sick, and it's all over the news with endless footage of children in ambulances and hospital beds. Young children aren't stupid, but they're impressionable, and being surrounded by that kind of news for days is probably what led to the majority of kids reporting illnesses. And if that sounds a little far-fetched, well, it's happened before. There was this Portuguese teen drama called Morangos com Açúcar, which had an episode about a flu going around getting every...
What if those other kids just pretended? Right? Like, obviously the initial 600 epileptic, but like the ones who came out the days afterwards. Why it's not like they had the symptoms because of a mass hysteria-induced panic. They like had the symptoms because they heard everyone was having the symptoms, and they wanted to be a part of the club. They wanted to be one of the sick kids. That's just like how kids work. It's like not even like I don't know, intentional. It's just you like follow the crowd. You think like, oh, it's supposed to make me sick, so I get sick. But that's not like mass hysteria. That's just an impressionable kid.
Everybody's sick. The next day in real
Which is a
life,
lot of
there were
impressionable
hundreds
kids.
of reported cases of flu-like symptoms tracked over 14 schools around the country. Some that even had to get shut down while the faculty were trying to figure out what the hell was happening. However, it turned out to be less a magical virus that infects people through television waves and more just lots of teens watching a popular teen drama. Rumors started and everything snowballed with continuous media coverage of the problem. But getting back to Pokemon, while they're not nearly as famous as the Porygon Caesar incident, Pokemon's had some other controversies as well, like the problems over one Pokemon for its negative depiction of nope, actually not that Pokemon, not Jinx. Yeah, I know some.
Wow, shocker!
Jinx's
Interesting.
design is kind of racist, but the design is probably just a reference to Japanese Ganguro fashion, combined with female opera singer imagery. No, the negative depiction that I'm talking about is actually no, not Ludicolo, the sombrero Pokemon.
Interesting.
Consists of vaguely Latin American music.
Oh.
Although that's not great, but it's whatever.
I know about that
Pokemon
one.
That's caused Nintendo the most trouble over a negative depiction is Kadabra. Have you ever noticed that the spoon-wielding psychic-type Pokemon Kadabra has been missing from the main Pokemon anime for a very, very long time? No, really, the last time the Pokemon appeared was nearly 20
Is it because he
years
has a
ago in the
giant
2005
Fu
episode
Manchu?
Fear Factory Phony. So, what gives? Why has Kadabra been out of the series for so long? Well, it's all because of this man, Uri Geller. Uri Geller, seen here sitting on a throne made out of spoons.
Oh, right, because he's the fucking guy who, like, bends fucking spoons with his mind, and he thinks he has, like, telekinetic powers and shit like that, and he feels like Kadabra's based on him.
Former magician turned television psychic who gathered fame in the 1970s.
Yeah, go fuck
bending
yourself,
spoons
you...
with the power of his mind. I mean, in actuality,
He literally just bends it with his hand, or just, like, pre-bends it so much that it's, like, so flimsy that he can just, like, do it easily with, like, very, very minimal effort. It's such bullshit, and...
he would just
Yeah.
bend the spoons a lot beforehand to loosen them, and then use various sleights of hand to distract the audience while he bent the spoons with his fingers. And people fell for this all over the world, including Japan, especially Japan. He was really popular there. Which brings us back to Kadabra. You've probably made the connection between Geller, Kadabra, and the spoon. I mean, sure, Geller didn't invent spoon bending, but it was sort of his whole shtick. And the guy was very well known in Japan. He even had a music album. Even worse, the original
But
Japanese
Kadabra doesn't...
is actually Yungeritor, which...
But he doesn't... Kadabra doesn't bend spoons. That's not his shtick. He just has a spoon.
is a combination of the characters from Yuri and Geller, his first and last name. So it's not just some weird spoon incidents. Geller was so upset about all of this that in 2000 he attempted to sue Nintendo for $60 million.
Jesus Christ!
Unlawfully used his image, and that Nintendo had turned him into a, quote, evil occult Pokemon character.
Dude, you're the one fucking talking about bending spoons with your mind. You're the fucking witch. You're the fucking witch, bro.
I would love to have my own Pokemon with the... What the hell?
Platypyrus.
What the hell is that?
Platypyrus.
Get away! Get away!
Platypyrus.
Help! 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 Kill it! Kill it! Kill it! Kill it! Kill it!
Platypyrus.
Is it going? Is it going? Jesus, those eyes. Okay, where are we now? What channel is this? Oh, good. Gay Panic.
Oh, perfect.
It's
my favorite.
There are still groups out there that'll fight tooth and nail against LGBT characters in kids' TV. Legend of Korra, Andy Mack, She-Ra, 12 Forever, Place
Korra gay?
Arthur, Clarence, Steven Universe, Sesame Street,
Is Legend of
Loud
Korra
House, The
gay?
Owl House,
I didn't know
My
that.
Little Pony Adventure Time, and a bazillion other shows have all seen their share of outrage just for having gay.
Oh, right. Mr. Ratburn is gay. Right? That's his name? Ratburn? Ratman? Mr. Rat? Like, Mr. Fuck, what is that guy's name? Mr. Ratburn, right? Yeah. God, I'm so fucking... His first name's Nigel? I'm a kid. Nigel Ratburn. Nigel Charles Ratburn. Originally Emil Ratburn. What? Can't change his name like that. Huh. Cool.
But as important as those shows' representations have been, many of them were released in a time where acceptance of LGBT
I never
was
watched
big,
Legend of
like,
Korra.
quite a bit. But in 2003, it was still pretty risky
just
to make
wasn't-
pro-LGBT content
I don't
for
know.
kids. Yet that's exactly what PBS.
I want to say goodbye to Aang.
Buster did. For anyone outside the U.S., PBS is an American television channel that airs a
Wait.
variety of educational and informative.
I watched a lot of
all
postcards from
available for free
Buster.
Thanks to public funding and donations. It airs Sesame Street, Curious George, Arthur, and yeah.
Yeah, but are you
Postcards from
saying
Buster,
that because
about an animated
The
rabbit.
Legend of
Buster
Korra is gay?
goes around the US with his
Or is it just because it's not good?
father, meeting kids in different cities and learning about different ethnicities and cultures. In episode 33, Buster visits.
I
some
liked
children in the state
postcards
of
from
Vermont who
Buster.
Just happened to have
It was
two
always so
brothers.
good. It was, like,
Neither the show
wholesome.
nor Buster make a big deal of it. They just introduce them as another happy Vermontian family. Cool, right? Sadly, before the episode made it to air, well, it looks like some lunatic heard about it. They contacted PBS and they demanded that the show either pull the episode or never ever receive public funds again if they were going to continue to promote the gay agenda. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Small correction. It wasn't a lunatic. It was the Education Secretary of the United
What?
States, Margaret Spellings, who literally on her first day on the job, decided to threaten PBS with being defunded if they aired the episode. Because
hasn't PBS been like threatened with being defunded for the entirety of PBS's existence? I feel like at this point they have like no funds. At this point, PBS is like hanging on by a thread. They have like as big of a budget as like the United States Post Office. Fuck it. Pull their budget. Let him air the Gay Bunny episode.
God forbid kids see this.
This is one of my favorite pictures.
How come?
Because it has my mom and Gillian, the people I love a lot, and they mean a lot to me.
This is sweet. This is cute. This is just a wholesome fucking family.
Come on. Come on. Really? PBS had no choice but to concede to
That's so
threat. I mean, they
frustrating.
need those funds to stay on the air, but you still gotta respect them for trying to do what they did. Especially since almost 4 years prior to that, PBS had gotten some flack for having a gay character in a show that didn't even have a gay character.
What?
Teletubbies was a hit BBC children's
Which one's gay? I say it's the green one.
show that aired on PBS in America between 1997 and 2001. It followed the four Teletubbies and their weirdly psychedelic Shire. As
This
they
was a
walked around
weird
and
fucking
made
show.
noises and fell over and stuff. Look, I don't really understand the Teletubbies, but that's the basic gist. Unlike most weekday morning shows that targeted kids ages 3 to 5, Teletubbies was made to
Yellow?
appeal to infants and very young
I don't
toddlers,
know.
which meant less dialogue and more short bursts of
Maybe it's the
colorful, engaging
sun.
content. There was Poe, Lala, Dipsy, and of course, Tinky Winky. But in 1999, out of seemingly nowhere, famous televangelist Reverend Jerry Falwell, best known for blaming terrorist attacks on the acceptance of gay couples,
Oh, yes, of course.
publicly announced to the world that, in his God-given expert opinion, Tinky Winky was gay. Needed to be taken-
We're both wrong. We're both wrong. It was the purple one. Fuck. God, we should have known. We should have known. It was fucking under our noses the entire time. Of course, Tinky Winky's gay. God. The woke liberal agenda just won't fucking stop. They made Tinky Winky gay. Jesus Christ. Why? I want to know. I want to know why Tinky Winky's gay.
Off the air.
Why that
You
one?
might be wondering,
Why
what
that one?
evidence did Falwell have that Tinky
Yes,
Winky was
please.
gay? Well, ladies and gentlemen of the off-screen jury, I'm Lawyer Paper Will, doing a terrible southern accent, despite the fact that I was born in Georgia, here to present Jerry Falwell's irrefutable evidence that Tinky Winky was nothing but gay and gay. Number one, Tinky's purple. Gay people love purple, that's just a fact. Number two, Tinky Winky's head symbol is an upside-down purple triangle, which if you flip right side up and you change the color to be pink.
I was about to fucking say. I was just about to say it's not even a purple triangle. Like that's not the symbol. The symbol is not a purple triangle. It's pink. Wouldn't the red one fit better? It's closer to being pink. What? Okay, I guess because it doesn't have a triangle on its head. It just has the antenna. Jesus Christ.
Men don't have purses, and Tinky Winky is a
What?
big gay. That's a gay pride symbol right there. Number three, Tinky Winky has a big red purse. Men don't have purses, and
Is there gender ever even hinted at even in the show? I was under the impression that the Teletubbies were just like genderless creatures. Like they had no sexual organs at all. And as far as I knew, they produced through mitosis. Like they just split apart and like throughout the like eons there would just the Teletubbies would take over the world. Are they ever referred to as... Hold on. What... what sex are the Teletubbies? 2 boys and 2 girls. Oh, Tinky Winky. Okay, I guess that's... What is going on here? What is this?
Winky is a man. Wait, is Tinky Winky? Is Tinky Winky a man?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Whatever. You know what? If all that proof wasn't enough to convince you, then I think you need to see the video evidence. Hit the tape.
Okay. No, this is convincing. I think I'm being convinced. This just makes me want Tinky Winky.
Falwell managed to gather a following with his claims about Tinky, which would force an executive producer from the Teletubbies to hold, I'm not kidding, an emergency press conference to address Tinky Winky's sexuality, in which he announces that, quote, the fact that Tinky Winky carries a magic bag doesn't make him gay. Now, you could argue that Falwell was
no
just
shit.
A jerk who let his bigotry color his
I bet he has a bunch of dildos in that big ass purse of his. What else would a Teletubby need a big ass purse for except for big ass dildos?
Perception of an innocent kids show, leading him to making a big.
Why does the purse make him gay? It's not even a purse. It's just a big. It's like a shoulder bag. It's a messenger bag.
Falwell ever believed that Tinky Winky was gay? No, I think Falwell was looking to create a distraction. I noticed that exactly 4 days before Falwell had his whole Tinky Winky gate. That's a gate with a G-A-Y, because that's not funny. He just so happened to have delivered a speech about the Antichrist. And in this speech, he said that the Antichrist would be Jewish. So that's pretty bad. It's not a great speech. Falwell.
Bro, the regular Christ was Jewish. I love it when Christians lose the plot this far.
Started getting slammed for being anti-Semitic because he was being anti-Semitic, when all of a sudden he decided that right then and there was the time to wage a huge publicized PR campaign about how Tinky Winky was gay. Oh yeah, don't look at the stuff over here I said about Jewish people being the Antichrist. No, look over here. Don't look at this. Look at this. This is the real story.
The OG Christ, exactly.
Crazy? Triangles, red person.
The anti-Antichrist.
I'm not anti-Semitic. Falwell presented the most flashy, headline-snagging, WTFing news
Christ 1.0
thing he could think of, and he waved it in front of the country's collective news faces to direct attention away from what he had said about Jewish people, and it worked. People forgot about the whole.
That's way too stupid. Why did he go? Did he go down that in a suit?
It worked.
People
forgot about the
Why?
whole Jewish people will birth the Antichrist thing, and focused on a very silly man and a very silly Teletubba theory.
However, for all of Falwell's controversy, he's got nothing on the next figure. But before we talk about that, let's talk about today's sponsor, NordVPN. Fans of the channel know I've been really hesitant to accept sponsor offers for a while because I didn't want to endorse something that I don't, personally use or have tested. But NordVPN, I've actually been using
it's not that long of an ad,
so it's pretty cool to have them as a sponsor, especially since we rely on NordVPN for a lot of the stuff I make on this very channel.
It's fine.
See, I can tell you about NordVPN.
Go use their code. Go use their code. Get NordVPN. Go use their code. Go use their code.
That hackers and scammers and phishers, they're getting more
and
more sophisticated in how they try to get to your digital
Go
information.
here. Paper Bell.
I could tell you about all that stuff. So, I did. I guess I just told you about that stuff. But I also mentioned that, I use NordVPN to make my videos. Well, what did I
use their code.
As an American guy living in Japan, you would be amazed at how much stuff from the US and other countries is region locked. You can't access it from here. With NordVPN, I can choose my IP location and view stuff I use for this channel. Even if you're not living abroad, well, this is still a super useful feature. Down in the pinned comment, you'll find a link to some of my favorite and really weird Japanese bands whose content is region locked outside Japan. Go to nordvpn.com/paperwheel, get a 2-year plan.
I'm watching their video, I'm just putting my face and my voice over it.
It's so good. Now, let's get back to the show.
I might as well play the ad too. Makes sense. I'd feel bad if I just skip the ad. I'm like, oh, gross. You don't get paid today.
All of that, The Amanda Show, Keenan and Kel, Drake and Josh, iCarly, Zoe 101, Victorious, Sam and Cat, Henry Danger, Game Shakers, and more. Plenty of grown-ups found Snyder shows to be a little cheesy, and fair enough, but there's no denying that his stuff resonated with kids.
This feels like one of those iceberg videos, but instead of it going on like a deeper, like each level of the iceberg going deeper. This is just an iceberg video where like the entire tip is out of the water and we're only talking about the tip.
This unstoppable Snyder-Nick relationship continued happily until 2018 when, after decades...
Like, I've heard of pretty much all of this, I feel like some of the details, maybe not so much, but...
personal projects. At least that's the official story. See, before Snyder left the
It's a good
network,
video.
Nickelodeon's parent company had in
I should
fact
stop
ordered
complaining.
an internal investigation about some of Snyder's less PG
What an ugly, disgusting... He's like Jabba the Hutt incarnate. Like, what a creature. Right? Like, that's a monster of a man.
of verbal abuse, throwing tantrums on set, mean emails, and more.
How do you look like that?
Was the actual cause of Snyder's exit from Nickelodeon, and this whole thing was far less mutual than it had
And that's a
been.
wig, right? For sure? That can't be his real hair. That's a wig.
Set, mean emails, and more.
Look at that.
Some think that this investigation was the actual cause of
Come on,
Snyder's exit
shows...
from Nickelodeon.
That's like a
This
wig.
whole thing was
That's
far
definitely a
less
wig,
mutual
too.
than it had been presented as.
He hasn't, like,
Keep in mind,
aged
this
at
was
all.
the
His hair hasn't gotten gray.
producer and human garbage pile, Harvey Weinstein, was ousted from power over sexual abuse and assault, so it's certainly possible Nick was hoping to avoid some sort of parallel.
God, he's just like... There's...
Wait,
he looks normal. He almost looks like Jerry Trainer in that picture. No, he doesn't. That's mean to say about Jerry Trainer. He... Just like a... What a freak. What a freak of a guy. He's just fucking weird.
Why he left, but we do know that even if Nick was done with Snyder, the internet wasn't. Beginning in the early to mid-2010s, several internet forums were slowly developing a theory that Mr.
Wait,
Snyder
whatever happened to Anonymous? Did I spell Anonymous wrong? No, I spelled everything else wrong. Oh, well, it was nice of them to re-emerge in 2020. Oh, it's the Spider-Verse sound. I had like a Spider-Verse theme on Opera, and so I think I forgot to turn off the sound when I changed it back to a normal one. So now every time I like open the tab, it will do the sounds.
Which by itself is not a big deal, but they think that he specifically had a fetish for the feet of children.
Yeah, no shit.
And that he'd use his position as a Nick producer to create content to satiate that fetish, which is a very big deal. And hold on, whoa. Let's be clear. That is a huge accusation to just throw around. So what's their evidence?
What's their evidence? Have you ever watched a Dan Schneider show? Like, that's the evidence. Come on. We don't... Do I really have to spell it out more?
No, we already did that bit. Let's just talk about the evidence. First up, according to them, Snyder shows have a lot.
See, like it just keeps going. There's too many clips. The fact that they can just keep playing foot clips for like the rest of this is proof. It's
there's an endless number of
like that's the fucking proof.
Pretty weird things with feet and performers from his shows.
I was destroyed by death.
There was even a tweet asking kids to write the name of the show on their feet.
Oh my god, that's I remember that. That's fucking gross.
It may have just been, some.
Come on. He fucking put a little worm into an intern's ear to get them to tweet that. Let's be real. Or it's like an intern who's not in on it, but like knows that like people already think that.
On the PR team
I don't know.
But we do know Snyder used his own account to ask people to name the toes on Jeanette McCurdy, who played Sam on iCarly.
What?
Another Reddit commenter in a now deleted post claimed that Snyder once paid her $100 to let him try and tickle or massage her feet, which, if true, is a
I'm
little
sorry,
weird.
what?
So what's Snyder's response? Well, in
What the
2021,
fuck?
he denied the accusations, saying they were ridiculous, and he argued that he wouldn't have been able to pursue his career for so long if there had ever been any proof of something like this.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Oh, shut the fuck. Bill Cosby. literally did not go to jail until he was like 80. What the fuck do you mean? That his comedy, your comedy career would not be as fucking fruitful if this was true. Are you? That's a joke. Hollywood literally protects predators. And you're like, no. If that was true, I would have gotten nowhere.
Here's the thing. I know it is a super.
This
popular
guy
internet theory
sucks.
Some sort of foot predator, and by taking a position where you
Ew.
it makes you look like you're, enabling a predator.
What a loser.
The deeper I went into this topic, and the more research I did, the less convinced I became. As far as I can tell, most of this Snyder stuff formed on these celebrity gossip conspiracies.
Isn't his last name Schneider?
Less, oh, who is that actor dating? And more like, these are the people controlling the world. Those kinds of sites. And it eventually bled out into this internet's public consciousness.
Not Snyder?
Not as a theory anymore, but as a fact. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of confirmed employee accounts of Snyder being a pretty crappy guy to work with, and that's really not the kind of person you want in charge of children who are trying to navigate the already messed up world of Hollywood. But, if we're talking about exploiting kids, how about some of the YouTube videos about this guy? There are people who put a picture of Snyder shows, performers and stuff, like in a thumbnail, next to a big quote like, "He touched me," and then you watch the video, and the performer literally never said the quote. You want to make videos about kids getting exploited by Hollywood? Go for it. That's great. But don't use children's faces all over your thumbnails with fake quotes to get clicks and views, because that, to me, that's exploitation. Again, Snyder leaving Nickelodeon, that's a good deal. But I'd argue that compared to Snyder, there was a much more pressing issue with someone else from Nickelodeon. Let me introduce you to Brian Peck. The name might not ring a bell, but if you like old...
Is he related to Joshua?
We still won't know his name, although you might remember his brief scene from The Return of the Living Dead. After a
that
short
guy.
acting stint in the 1980s, Peck would go on to work on several Nick shows, including All That and The Amanda Show. Usually it was behind-the-scenes stuff, although he did appear in a couple of things, such as the guy who really likes his pickle.
Pickle Boy likes to hurt and tease pickles.
What?
Ooh, that did not age well, huh? Peck was also involved with Snyder's Nickelodeon camps up until 2004 when he
likes to hurt and tease pickles. What does that mean? I understand that all that is, a kind of at times absurdist humor, but why are we using the words hurt and tease pickles on a kids' TV show? I feel like that's hurt and tease is a little too suggestive for children's television, I think. Cock and ball twitcher?
Minor, most of which I can't say on YouTube, but you can probably guess at least what some of those were.
I'm shocked.
After a 16-month stint in prison, which seems really short, Peck was released and went right back to working in children's television.
I'm shocked.
Awesome.
Former X-Men actor? Who was he? Wait. He was Brian Peck? Who was he in X-Men? Help if I spelled his name right. Let's see. Cognitive behavioral. That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense than the thing that I thought. He was a news reporter in X2. Why the fuck was he referred to as former X-Men? Because it gets clicks.
Again, after his release from jail over sex crimes with people who aren't adults, Peck performed roles on The Sweet Life of
Children.
Cody, that Landon Tipton movie, and Jack and the Beanstalk in 2009. Credit to Nickelodeon, they never hired Peck back to work on the shows after his conviction, but it seems nobody on the mid-2000s Disney Channel recruitment team knew how to ask Jeeves a job applicant's criminal history. Hey Jeeves, is this guy a
just Google
pedophile?
his name.
Yeah? Oh, great.
You
Thanks,
don't even
Jeeves.
have to
Ooh.
do a background check.
Let's just move on. 4Kids. 4Kids Entertainment was an anime licensing company.
This is where I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a kid. This is where I fucking grew up with That's how I grew up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Was 4Kids.
You know, a company that would pay
And Sonic.
license anime
True.
from Japanese studios, redub the dialogue in English, and then sell the English versions to networks for broadcast.
I forgot
4Kids
Yu-Gi-Oh was on there
mega
too.
successes
4Kids
in the
was
90s
fucking
and early 2000s like Yu-Gi-Oh,
peaked.
Kirby Right Back at
But
Ya.
I have heard that like 4Kids like destroyed the animes that they brought over. I didn't really watch any of them, but I just heard it was not faithful.
One Piece, Sonic X, and Pokemon.
Platypyrus.
Oh, it's back! 4Kids was a big part in taking anime from a subculture in the West to a mainstream audience, but they also developed a negative reputation for the polarizing quality of their voice dubs.
Hey, Tim, stay down or we're busted.
Your attitude's the pits.
What's wrong with this?
Apricot. I want you to have a look at this Pokemon.
What is this thing?
And also what you might call over-enthusiastic censorship and obstructive cultural edits, like erasing pistols from bad guys but leaving their finger guns, or removing Japanese text but not adding any English on top of the text.
What?
Turning cigarettes into lollipops, or their most famous example, getting characters to point to rice balls.
Oh, yes. Okay,
jelly donuts
yeah.
over and over and over again.
Have a donut. That always cheers me up. Pika pika.
These donuts are great. Jelly-filled are my favorite. Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
What are you talking
That's
about?
why 4Kids is included in this video because I kind of get what they were doing. Many of their edits were relatively minor cultural changes to help ease the transition of anime into that Western audience. 4Kids, like many
I don't
licensing companies,
see how it eases them into the
make sure
culture.
content was accessible as possible to appeal to people who might not be familiar with anime. And some of their more bizarre changes make sense in the context of when they got aired. Like, take the Yu-Gi-Oh! Finger Guns example. Yes, it looks ridiculous, don't get me wrong, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Was only being aired a couple of years after the US Columbine incident where guns were a hot
only a couple of
issue in kids'
years.
These things were tense in America in a way they just weren't in Japan, so it's understandable why 4Kids...
And at this point, we just have like so many gun-related homicides that like now guns are like totally cool, right? I feel like I would not be like hard pressed to find a gun in children's television. Like, doesn't Woody have a gun? Doesn't Woody from Toy Story have a gun? He never shoots it, but doesn't he have like a gun holstered the entire time?
Some changes, and honestly, most kids probably didn't think about it very much. At least I didn't. I'd even argue that in 4Kids' earlier stuff, there was a lot of passion in what they did, especially from the voice performers and translators. No, 4Kids isn't in this video because of their off-putting localization choices. They're in the video because they broke the law.
What?
Turns out, 4Kids wasn't doing so great in the late 2000s, most likely due to their
They just like manipulate
quality
stock?
approach to anime
What?
releases,
How do you
as
break the
well as
law?
some big names like Pokemon. Is he here? Is he here? He's going. All right. Like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! 4Kids started making deals with American broadcasting companies over licenses 4Kids technically didn't own or pay for or have the right to do that.
That's how.
And even with the license they did own, there were cases of them misreporting royalty
I would
deductions,
do that.
submitting false tax withholdings, and sometimes just straight
That's fucking
lying about their
baller.
revenue, which
That
is
is
a,
fucking baller.
crime. Once Japanese companies found out, and of course they found out, 4Kids lost some of their biggest names. mainly in the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Absolutely.
series. And
Dude,
in
if somebody will like genuinely believe that I have the rights to sell them Pokemon broadcasting rights,
piracy policies have been borderline
yeah, I'm gonna fucking sell it to
sent
them.
legal threats to children for torrenting content. ADVision, Gainax, SRE, Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll has been sued over fucking stickers. Nearly every major
What?
company in the licensed world has sued or been sued over something. It's a ridiculous legal minefield. But for me, the 4Kids story is the saddest example because their content was such a big part of my childhood. Despite the hit or miss voice work and the weird cleavage stuff and that, whatever.
What do you mean weird cleavage stuff? The characters had like way too much cleavage. They had very prominent breasts. And they just like made it slightly less prominent because it's a kids TV show.
Whatever's going on there. 4Kids.
They made him not have a I feel like Paper Will is like 2 shows away from like just saying that he wants to see one of these characters' penises. And I'm not judging, that's fine. But like don't call it weird that they like made the character's boobs less prominent.
Help turn anime mainstream. It's sad to see that group go down in flames over something they could have avoided by just staying focused and delivering good work and keeping up with the standards of Western anime fans. Of course,
Oh great,
not all
more
the
anime.
problems with anime are due to licensing. There's tons of stuff going on behind the scenes in animation in Japan that we need to talk about. I know, not all anime is made for kids, but children were the main demographic when anime was first televised in Japan, and it all really started with one man, manga artist and animator Osamu Tezuka, and his 1964 show, Astro Boy.
Fucking love Astro Boy.
2004, the series was about a young android named Astro Boy who protected the
I want
city
those
of the
Astro
world
Boy
from
boots.
out-of-control robots.
They're way
It's a
too
great
expensive
show
though.
that sometimes gets a negative reputation due to some of the unfortunate English dubs.
It's not right for a robot to behave as that one is. Astro Boy is my name.
And this show was the foundation on which the modern anime industry was built, for better or for worse. See, it hadn't been easy for Tezuka to get Astro Boy on the air. At the time, broadcasting executives in Japan were concerned that the cost of a weekly animated show would just be too high. Yeah, a couple of series like Tetsutin 28
Yeah,
and Wolf by Ken had
pretty
gained
high.
some moderate success, but networks were still
But not when you just don't pay the artists.
Tezuka, though, he was sure that if he could just get Astro Boy on the air, it would blast off and prove that serialized animated shows were a viable market, not just a fad. So, Tezuka and his animation team made a very risky offer to the broadcasters. Tezuka's company would make Astro Boy on severely reduced pay with the condition that they'd keep a larger percentage of any merchandising profit. Essentially, if Astro Boy was a hit, Tezuka's team would make a killing on merchandise, but if it failed, well, they'd probably be out of business.
This is like the Star
Networks
Wars
loved this
deal.
deal because it was basically costing them nothing, so they went ahead with it. Luckily for Tezuka and his team, the contract gamble paid off, and Astro Boy
This
was
is
a
like Star
nationwide
Wars.
success with merch sales that easily
Yeah,
offset
this is
previous
fucking
losses.
genius. Isn't this is what Marvel does for Spider-Man too. Like even like Marvel, like Sony doesn't have the merchandising rights for Spider-Man, I think. Like Marvel does. So like, and that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to explain that weird, but I feel like I've heard that about like at least Spider-Man. And like that's why merchandising goes crazy when like any type of Spider-Man movie comes out.
In Tezuka's mind, this was the perfect outcome. Not just because his team had made some money, not just because they'd made a
Yeah, it's
high-quality
fucking
program,
genius
but
to like
because
go for
now
merchandising
broadcasters
rights.
would pay a fair income to all future anime studios. After all, they'd
George
seen how
Lucas still
successful
has
they could be, so
merchandising
surely
rights,
they're
I
gonna pay
think.
fairly now, right?
Like somewhat. Like he
Predictably,
gets
the
money
networks
from him, I
thought
think.
about it and
Or maybe not.
decided,
I don't know.
They really preferred not paying more money, and instead they use Astro Boy's contract as a precedent for how all
Yeah.
anime would be funded from then on. A precedent that still
Yeah, they have
stands
that with
today.
Hulk.
Modern animation studios are still getting paid pennies on the
Probably.
dollar
Okay.
or
Pretty sure.
smaller yens on the bigger yens. They're not getting paid
Yeah,
enough
see?
with the
Animation is perfectly commercially viable when you just don't pay them. Stop paying artists. No, please, pay them more. Pay them more.
majority of revenue going to networks and production committees who often hold the IP licenses. Shingo Adachi, a head animator for the popular series Sword Art Online, says that there's simply no dream animation job where you make a good salary and have good working conditions. It just doesn't exist. Animation veteran Jun Arai has also added with the Pokemon series, flat up.
Whatever. You're actually kind of cute in a whole, God's little mistake kind of way. Who's a little abomination? Who's a little abomination? It's you. Yes, it's you. But yeah, Jun Arai has said that the Pokemon anime, which makes $100 million a year just on the anime, not including any of the other stuff, that show pays its animators less per dollar than what you'd make working at the next door 7-Eleven.
That's rough. And it's not just salaries. Working hours are long and brutal in the animation studios. There are countless reports of workers in the industry being hospitalized due to overwork at rates even higher than the national average in Japan, the country famous for overworking. Yoshifumi Kondo, a senior animation director in Ghibli Studios, died of an overwork-related aneurysm in 1998, which caused Miyazaki so much grief that he ended up retiring for several years. And because the only people who were willing to put
Wait.
up studios for overworking, even higher than the national average in Japan, the country famous for overworking. Yoshifumi Kondo, a senior animation director in Ghibli Studios, died of an overwork-related aneurysm in 1998, which caused Miyazaki so much grief that he ended up retiring for several years.
He doesn't even feel that strongly about his son. Miyazaki doesn't even like his own son that much. You overworked him, bro. Aren't you the boss?
And because the only people who are willing to put up with all of this do so because they're passionate about their craft, well, that means not many people are pushing for change. This is the unseen problem behind most anime you liked as a kid, and probably most shows you like now. Unless it's from one of the very, very few paying studios with good working conditions like Kyoto Animation, your favorite stuff is probably being made by a studio full of underpaid artists, and it's a deadly situation, and it's not improving.
That's all animation, it's not even anime.
But moving back stateside,
it's not even just animation, it's just like all forms of media ever, pretty much. Unless you're in like the top, like 1 to 5%, like, you're probably being underpaid and overworked for your like work.
Right here is John Kricfalusi, creator of the 90s animated series The Ren and Stimpy Show. Alongside Doug and Rugrats, The Ren and Stimpy Show was
yeah, Miyazaki, you could have just given him a vacation, dude.
The channel on the map for original programming. But unlike Doug and Rugrats and most shows for kids, Kricfalusi wanted Ren and Stimpy to be hyper-violent, risque, constantly pushing boundaries, and frankly, kids loved it for that.
Hot take. Ren and Stimpy was not as good as everyone says it was. Sometimes it was a little too fucking much. It was just like a constant attack on the senses. It was like an audio-visual terroristic experience.
Nickelodeon, however, didn't. While the show was a major hit for Nick, Kricfalusi and his team would constantly miss deadlines and go tens of thousands of dollars over budget, putting Nick into a tricky position. On the one hand, they were thrilled to have a successful hands on their
hot fire take.
On the other, Nick wasn't able to capitalize on that success due to those delays. And when I say delays, I'm not talking like a week or a month. One episode, Stimpy's Invention, took over a year to produce.
You ever watched it?
Still, by most accounts I could find, Nick wasn't happy over the delays, but they'd probably have accepted them had the show been more on brand. In 1991, Nickelodeon was still early in its original programming period, and they wanted to paint themselves as clean and parent-friendly.
You watched the whole thing and didn't like it? Why did you watch the whole thing if you didn't like it?
Kricfalusi, to put it lightly,
you could have just done like a season.
Well to Nick's pressure. According to some
There's
of
only
his
3.
and Nick's staff, Kricfalusi had let some of the success go to his head, believing that as the creator and the voice actor for Ren, there was no way Nick would ever get rid of him, no matter what he did. So, when Nickelodeon pushed down on him to deliver episodes on time, he responded with, episodes will cost what they cost and take as long as they take, and that he was going to keep putting in risque humor that he wanted because Nick could do it themselves if they disagree.
Isn't the creator of Ren and Stimpy, like, just notoriously a fucking insane, like, schizo poster now? Let me double check that I'm thinking of the right guy. Ren and Stimpy creator. Let's see. Does he have like a... Oh, here we go. Sexual abuse allegations. Yeah. Jesus Christ. You have a 16-year-old girlfriend. Awesome. That's great. Really glad that, I mean, I'll even go as far as to say, why was he a guest animator on The Simpsons in 2015? Bro. What? Jesus. Yeah. I thought I had heard bad shit about this guy.
So they did. Nick terminated his contract, gave him the boot, and continued making the show on their own. And while it's sad to see a talented artist losing control over their work, the more I read about the situation, the more...
He's a piece of shit. I don't really care.
Kricfalusi was undeniably a brilliant creator, but he was also kind of a jerk sometimes. Various workers from the show have said that working with Kricfalusi was a nightmare. The man
Was
had
he a
killed-
brilliant creator, or was he just a good artist that was funny sometimes? I feel like people confuse like mild talent for like greatness sometimes. Just because like it's popular. Like just because like it doesn't it's okay if something that is popular is not high art. That's okay. But we don't have to like pretend that Ren and Stimpy is high art. He's not like the most talented man on the fucking face of TV.
He would rip up drawings, he screamed, he demanded perfection.
He was like an asshole that a team of animators who like did more work than he did.
So, this
I don't
was
really
always
see.
understaffed, and that caused more delays. And after
It's
being
not.
fired-
It's also when it comes to animation, it's not just one person. The creator of the show is not the dude responsible for the show most of the time. Like I think Smiling Friends might be one of the very few exceptions where it's just like a couple of people, or like even it's not even a couple of people. It's just I think a small team, but like the creators are also the animators. But like this, you can't walk into a room and rip storyboards that your like team has drawn up because you don't like it. Like it's a team effort. Like you fucking hired them, dude. You're like drawing a panel. You're drawing a quick sketch storyboard, and then they have to animate the fucking cells.
Kricfalusi has been accused of creating a smear campaign against any of the artists that chose to continue with Ren and Stimpy instead of resigning in support.
He seems just like a spiteful
David Conan's
fucking
technical director
asshole.
on the show says Kricfalusi literally shoved him down a flight of stairs about this.
Jesus
It would
Christ!
also be unfair of me to imply that Kricfalusi's team universally hated him. They didn't. In fact, there were many on his staff who were
I'm trying to like think, like I've seen somebody get pushed down a flight of stairs once in my entire life. And I was in high school. And it was just like a fight. And somebody got shoved down the stairs. That's the only time I've ever seen somebody get shoved down the stairs in real life. I can't imagine getting shoved down a flight of stairs. That sounds fucking painful. It's not like tripping and falling. It's like you're standing still and someone just fucking pushes you. You go head first. You are going head first into a decline. You're like almost destined to hit your head. No, I never had MySpace. Too young. I'm only 23.
loyal to the guy because although he was challenging to work with, John K. got results. That episode I mentioned earlier that took a whole year to produce.
I'm just a little too late for MySpace. I was just a little too late.
Plus, who the hell am I to criticize somebody for being bad at deadlines? This video was supposed to be out like 3 months ago. And in between animation seasons, Kricfalusi has been known to pay some of his artists out of pocket to make sure they had enough money when not working.
Oh, boo-hoo. Yeah, they're his fucking team. Are we praising that? Because he couldn't meet a deadline, he paid his team out of pocket. No shit. That's what he should have done. He's not a good boss. He's just doing the bare... See, this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes people who are revered are like, any little thing they do that's, like, decent is, I don't know, put on a pedestal. Like, he's a piece of shit, but he paid his employee's salary. That's what he's supposed to do. That's his job. What are you talking about? Yeah. He, like, has sexual misconduct allegations against him. Nobody accused him of not paying them, as far as I know. That's not why he's a bad person. He's not a bad person because he's, like, not paying his employees. He's a bad person because he's a shitty, awful human being who's just, like, an asshole. He's not an asshole because he does the bare... I don't know.
That's just the bad stuff.
I'm ranting.
We're here to talk about the ugly stuff. Let's rewind a little bit back before Kricfalusi got fired.
What was so good about MySpace? Elaborate.
It's coming on its second season, and kids all over the world are falling in love with this show.
Besides, like, hearing music.
13-year-old aspiring artist Robin Bird. Bird loved the show so much, she even sent a fan letter to Kricfalusi talking about her dreams of working in animation and how his show had inspired her. And to her delight, she got a letter back from him. she got several letters back from him.
Great.
And she started getting care packages from him with things like art supplies and animation tools.
Oh, is this the fucking person that he groomed? Is great.
And after
It started
Bud
as a
turned 16, Crick Falusi flew her out to work as an intern at his animation studio, and
fucking
also to secretly live with
gross.
him as they dated.
Fucking gross.
John Kay had hired his underage teenage girlfriend as an intern to work on the content he was releasing.
Fucking gross. And he's like dressed as Mr. Rogers. It just feels so awful. But there's a knockoff MySpace site I made a cool page on. That's all. There's a knockoff MySpace site? Why? What? Is it like actually like knockoff MySpace, or is it just like you can make a page? Or can you like have circles of people and like have a top 5 and shit? Rank your friends, put them against each other, battle royale style.
Hey, this is Katie Rice. She is one of the young artists I was telling you about. Katie showed me one time. She drew, I was at her 15th birthday party.
Why? Why were you at her 15th birthday party? You are a middle-aged man. Why were you at a 15-year-old's birthday party?
I'll tell you that backstory a little bit later.
Allegedly, much of this was an open secret on John's animation team, but it only became truly public in the 2010s when a BuzzFeed article detailing the issue was released with quotes from Bird and Rice. Crick Falusi didn't deny much of the article's allegations, making a public apology post on Facebook to Bird and Rice soon after. Although he did strongly imply that some of the article was embellished for sensationalism, and
go fuck
it's
yourself.
a BuzzFeed article, so I'd suggest taking anything that's not a quote from the victims themselves with a grain of salt. But those quotes, as well as Crick Falusi's own admissions, are
I don't understand. He's like, it's sensational. No, you had a 16-year-old girlfriend as a middle-aged dude. You don't have to make it sensational. That's pretty bad.
mountains more than enough evidence to show that he was a predator to young fans.
No shocker here, but
People put gore on their profile pics? That sounds like
maybe there's a major natural
awful.
disaster, an act of terrorism, a worldwide pandemic, and in the immediate
What
days,
is
weeks, and
I
months
almost,
after those events, it's kind of seen as
it's not related to the gore, but what is the website?
content too reminiscent of it. So a lot of things get temporarily pulled from television. Obviously, this kind of tragedy-redolent content doesn't only affect kids' TV. It happens to everything. Like this trailer for the original Spider-Man movie.
Oh, but there's been 2 hours.
Which was replaced due to a very unnice thing happening.
Same thing with the poster. Yep.
There's also really, really poorly timed advertisements like this 1989 Kentucky Fried Chicken ad talking about how everybody's so excited to come out and support the new KFC in Tiananmen Square.
Now there's a recipe that has even the Chinese crossing the road.
Which aired as this happened.
What
Comics,
the fuck?
Video games, newspapers.
Bad timing. It's... Could it maybe have been on purpose? To like, you know, do something with the news or whatever? I don't know if it was... No. I feel like if it was... That ad was in China and not played in America. Never mind. That doesn't make sense.
Strips, even
Whatever.
trading card games have to be careful about this stuff. In early 2020, Magic the Gathering had these limited time special prints of Godzilla-related cards, and one of the cards was Space Godzilla. Looks cool as hell, but unfortunately his full name was Space Godzilla Death Corona. God.
It's not that bad.
God, that's bad timing.
Not really.
It's not Magic the Gathering's fault, and they fixed it quickly, of course, but you can still find it online for $11 on Amazon.
Why was he called Corona?
Redolent content is especially tricky to navigate in kids' entertainment. The earliest example in history, at least the earliest one that I could find, was in 1940's A Wild Hare, Bugs Bunny's debut cartoon. Bugs comes up behind Elmer and plays Guess Who with Elmer.
Why does he look like that?
Bob was Stanwyck.
Unless you saw the cartoon before 1940.
I like Bugs Bunny way more looking like that. He looks fucking freakish. That's a creature. That's not a rabbit. That's like a golem. He looks way more rodent-like this.
When the original guest was Carol Lombard.
Carol Lombard?
Unfortunately, Lombard passed away in a plane crash around the cartoon's debut. And
in my hometown, there's a bridge named after Carol Lombard, and it's supposedly haunted. Corona, a faintly colored luminous ring or halo. Oh, thank you. That's interesting, actually. Is that why? No, that's not why Corona is called Corona. Not like the drink. It's not because it's lightly colored.
The line was changed. And
right?
Tons
That doesn't
of
make
examples
sense.
throughout media.
I'm
Several
reaching.
Episodes of Freakazoid with visual cameos by Princess Diana got pulled after her fatal accident. The 1997
Visual
episode of
cameos?
Rugrats called Vacation had two.
So not a cameo, they
magicians,
just drew Princess
Siegfried
Diana.
and Roy being attacked by a tiger as a joke, but it got pulled after that actually happened in 2003. There was a G.I. Joe rerun pulled in 2011 since the episode showed Cobra trying to destroy a Japanese city with earthquakes, which then immediately happened in March 2011. An episode of Lion Guard titled Never Roar Again, which prominently featured crocodiles trying to eat the kid characters. That got pulled after the 2016 alligator attack near.
I went right after that happened. I went to Disney World for the first time right after that fucking kid got ate. We were on the ferry, you know, shuttling across to the Disney World.
Chip and Dale, Tailspin, 101 Dalmatians.
You're like, what if we fell in? Got ate by an
They
alligator.
have all run into this problem. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command had
We
not
pointed it
one,
out too.
but
We saw the
two episodes
hotel.
pulled.
I think.
Those episodes, by the way, were
Maybe I'm just making
Inside
that
Job
up.
and Conspiracy,
I don't know.
and got pulled due to their name or the storyline where Buzz is accused of trying to kill the president. The longer you spend in that weird rabbit hole, the more and more you start seeing a certain idea, a certain conspiracy theory. Predictive programming in kids' television. Believers in this theory think there's a secret group of powerful people who control the world, and that this group plans and orchestrates all tragedies, all disasters, and all terrorist attacks. But to make sure that people
I understand that, like, Paper Will is not in on the conspiracy side of the things. But, like, for the people who are on the conspiracy side of the things and think that, like, one group controls all the disasters in the media and, like, spells it out in the media through predictive programming. Why would they do that? What sense does that make? And you can only, like, rationalize it in an irrational world, because in a rational world, that doesn't make sense. They wouldn't do that. They just wouldn't. Why would they fucking give the plot up before it happens?
secret group of
That's not how
people
fucking
who
secrets
control the
work.
world, and this group
Like
plans-
they're looking on the back of the dollar and they see the fucking the eye in the pyramid. They're like, what? It's the Illuminati. They're behind it all. No, man. If they were really behind it all, they wouldn't just put their fucking logo on the back of a dollar.
and orchestrates all tragedies, all disasters, and all terrorist attacks. But to make sure that people accept those happenings,
It's the
as
opposite of a
normal,
secret.
That group also plants little clues and hints all over fiction and media.
Beverly Hills Cynthia lunchbox, a pony, and a 9/11 emergency surgical kit with working stethoscope.
And look, even as a big skeptic, I love learning about things like the paranormal, about UFOs.
What was that thing of fucking Scooby in a real life forest? That was kind of freaky. I kind of like that.
Conspiracy theories and even cults. I have a whole video about movies and music made by actual cults. So as someone
Yeah,
who can
I was gonna
appreciate
check that
a
out.
conspiracy theory,
Probably
trust
tomorrow.
me when I say the examples I've seen of predictive programming in kids television are weak. Like sticking with that unnice 2001.
I
New
did
York
not
thing,
watch the
let's
Velma
look at some
show.
of the most popular examples of quote proof that some secret society organized a decade.
I just didn't really have an interest in it. Not because it was like,
Let's see, a
I don't know.
1978 episode.
I like
of Super
Scooby-Doo,
Friends
but I haven't
with Legion
really
of Doom
been
making its power
into
bend a little. A 1985
the
episode
new
of
like
G.I. Joe
animation
where a
style.
plane
I
hits
kind of like the old
Tower.
Hanna-Barbera
It doesn't-
stuff.
It doesn't even hit him. It parks. An episode of Spider-Man Unlimited where two pillars get knocked down. An episode of Gargoyles where there's a blast on the top of the World Trade Center in a show based in New York. Wow, what a surprise. They used the tallest building. There's a scene in DuckTales where a plane knocks over some statues, and one of my favorites, a background movie poster in Johnny Bravo with a building on fire. Look at it. Look at the proof. secret cartoon secret agents
So
have
fucking
snuck in one
stupid.
night and drawn that burning building on a poster just so kids would remember that in 7 or 8 years and then be like, oh, I saw that in Johnny Bravo, so that's normal. It's just absurd. Like, there's a 1994 episode of Iron Man that had a terrorist plan to fly some hijacked planes into the Pentagon and the World Trade. Oh.
Okay, that's a little spot on.
But the truth is, nobody is brainwashed.
That's obviously not predictive programming, but like, that is a little eyebrow raising. Makes it go, that's spooky.
With predictive programming.
They do it with advertisements.
Between 1946 and 1980, kid-targeting advertisements in the US were somewhat limited by broadcasting rules. But in 1981, the FCC began dismantling regulations on ads for kids, which paved the way for what is now sometimes referred to as the era of 30-minute commercials. Companies could make a toy, then make a TV show about the toy, then air commercials for the toy during the TV show about the toy. And
genius.
Line
It's
up
fucking
2,
genius.
3, 4 hours of programming like this back to back to back. In the first half of the 1980s,
Merchandising.
300%. And I'm not just talking about action figures, although I'm definitely also talking about action figures.
We're talking about it all.
Posters, stickers, clothes, lunchboxes, McDonald's,
Ecto Cooler
toys,
slaps.
everything. Even talking teddy bears like
I had it
Teddy
when they
Ruxpin
brought it
and
back.
this creepy-ass live action show around which you could even advertise the toy. Eventually, the Children's Television Act was set up to limit commercials.
Obviously, I was not old
prime
enough to
time,
drink
so
the original.
Luckily, that's not a problem anymore. But the reason I'm talking about toys, well, I'm not suggesting that all merch-driven shows were inherently bad. They weren't. Lots of them were engaging, memorable, and well-written.
I like old
I said earlier,
commercials.
love
I like.
Power Rangers,
I
and
even like
toy
2000s
toy
commercials.
The problem is that a show's success
Tomorrow's
today
stream is probably
often
just going to
relies on
be
how much tie and
entertainment made by
merchandise
cults, and
good
we're going to be
shows-
watching an
great
hour of
shows
2000s
cut because
commercials.
They couldn't push toys. And maybe we should expect better from the kind of entertainment. Oh, son of a! I'm on the soapbox again. Child stars. Yeah, you probably knew this topic was.
Get out of the cat water before I shoot myself on
Disney Channel
stream!
stars and 90s sitcoms.
Do you want
for
that?
television
Do you want me to
in the
die?
1920s, 1921 specifically, and it's the big premiere of Charlie Chaplin's classic film, The Kid. But it's also the diving board for a new star's career, the 6-year-old Jackie Coogan. After starring in the film, Coogan would go on to a prolific child career, making around $50 million before his 18th birthday. But upon reaching adulthood, Coogan, to his horror, found that most of his money was just gone.
Oh, like Macaulay Culkin.
Father, a man who was also his financial advisor, had blown through all of it on booze.
Oh, like Macaulay Culkin.
In the 1930s, you had Shirley Temple, who referred to some of her earliest time in the industry as, quote,
That was a dog.
cynical exploitation of our childish innocence. On one set, if she acted up, she was put into a windowless, soundproof box affectionately titled the Punishment Box.
I'm
Like
sorry,
an actual physical punishment box.
What?
Throughout her teen career, Temple was groped, harassed, sometimes...
Like that thing from Despicable Me? Like the box from Despicable Me. They would just put Shirley Temple in that. They put Okay. No, that makes sense.
By various scumbags. Once by a producer who, during a meeting with her, engaged his remote control door lock, a thing no Hollywood producer should be allowed to have, by the way, and literally chased her around.
Matt Lauer type shit.
It's so over the top and evil that it's almost funny, but it's not funny because it actually happened.
Matt Lauer type shit.
Coogan, Temple would have most of her money squandered by her parents before her 18th birthday.
Oh, like Macaulay
Don't even
Culkin.
get me started on Judy Garland in the 1940s. Almost everybody's aware how she was mistreated while working on The Wizard of Oz. Her parents, the studio, the director, everybody
Yeah.
treated her like
Shirley
crap.
Temple's life was
And
just
because
fucking
some people in
sad.
the production were worried that the 16-year-old Garland didn't look young.
It's
or
just
fit enough,
really depressing. Like
this
any
girl,
child
yeah,
star
this
pre
girl, they pumped her full of amphetamines.
2019 is probably a tragic tale.
Managed to shake her childhood treatment or the substance abuse, going broke and passing away from an overdose in her late 40s. In the 1950s, there was Bobby Driscoll, whose young performances so impressed Walt Disney himself that Driscoll was put under the company's very first acting contract. Even if you've never heard of Driscoll,
Isn't that this is like the story of oh fuck, Kurt right? Am I thinking of the right guy? Like Walt Disney's last words was like Kurt Russell. And he just like saw a performance of him as a child and like just hired him immediately. He just like knew he was going to be a star.
probably heard his voice as the titular character in Peter Pan.
I might be wrong, but it was like somebody. It was like Kurt Russell or like one of those guys.
Drying up. In fact, he only learned that his Disney contract had ended when he drove up to the studio gate and was refused entrance. Unable to find steady work again, he fell into substance abuse, lost all of his
That happened to
money,
my
and
dad,
passed
except he
away at
was
the age
working
of
at a factory.
31 from an overdose. By the
It's not as
1970s,
prolific.
the entertainment industry noticed that a lot of their child stars were ending up not alive. So they enacted a series of regulations on childhood working conditions. Think reduced working hours, financial protections, mandatory...
That was like 20 years ago. It's all good.
Great things. But even with these positive changes in the industry, there are still plenty of awful conditions and practices that child performers are subjected to. Plenty of kids still grow up to find that a lot of their money is just gone.
Like Macaulay Culkin.
This example probably being Gary Coleman. That poor guy. People were stealing money from that dude his whole life.
Really?
Childhood.
That's so
old age.
sad.
Did you know that this is true? They had to postpone his funeral because people were too busy fighting over the estate.
What?
And it wasn't even that much money. And it's
That's fucking. That's just depressing. That's fucking awful.
Parents, with studios looking the other way to avoid trouble with CPS.
What? Like Bryan Cranston, like took in all of the boys from Malcolm in the Middle because they just like all had awful home lives. I'm pretty sure he just like wanted to be like a normal like father figure for them. Like this is. Like, even into the 2000s and, like, the 2010s, like, child stars have been fucked over.
Plus, having a professional relationship with your own children can complicate your actual relationship. In a 1998 paper published in the Journal of Personality Assessment, children performers were shown to feel far less connected to their parents who manage their careers than those of normal
Yeah,
kids.
no shit.
That disconnect, that inability to open up to their own parents, among other factors, is making it so much easier for kids to become the target.
You spelled Brian's name wrong. Oh my god! You spelled Bryan Cranston's name wrong!
In the 2014 documentary,
I think. Isn't that with a Y?
Of child performers talk about how they often find their kids' headshots and model pictures, pictures they'd only sent the casting directors, being sold on online auctions, sometimes for hundreds of dollars. Kids that aren't even famous. And even if a kid manages to get famous, have some good roles, have parents that are supportive but not overbearing,
what's up? We're
and
watching YouTube.
They want to leave the industry. Well, even that's tricky. In a 2013 article written by Mara Wilson, who you may recognize from Matilda, Mrs. Doubtfire, and more recently the faceless woman who secretly lives in your house from Welcome to Night Vale, Wilson points out that many child stars.
Do I still have that book? Or did I try to sell it? I sold it. I sold it. I got the book. The Faceless Old Woman That Lives in Your Attic. It might be one of the worst books I've ever read my entire life. I don't want to be mean about it, but I could not get through it. I couldn't finish it. It was not compelling at all. What's your arm tat? I have a few. Start with this arm. I have a yikes. I have a yikes on my wrist. Does that come through? I have a yikes. That's an Eddie Burback tattoo. I just got this the other week. It's a rat. It's a rat. Going like this. It's a tombstone. It says I feel great. It's not. How do I get that in? Plain. Feel great. There we go. I have this Grim Reaper in a bathtub, even like a peace sign. I don't know how to get that across. I've got an alien priest preacher thing right there, and then I have up here I have like this skull woman flower leaf deal thing. The rat I got done by I think his name is Jared Andrews. He's out of Fort Wayne. And then the Yikes is a design that was just like thought up by, I think his name is Nick, like B or something like that, at Cardinal Tattoo in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The tombstone, the skull, the Grim Reaper in the bathtub, and the alien priest were done by Caleb at Cardinal Tattoo in Fort Wayne. And then the woman bicep thing here was done by she goes by Brooklyn Jade, also out of Fort Wayne. And yeah, that's what I got. I don't have like anything on my legs or anywhere else. I'm just trying to fill up my arms and like just upper body first.
Literally grow up surrounded by the industry, with everyone they know being connected to it. Plus, they're often discouraged from prioritizing their own educations over acting gigs. So,
thank you.
How do you
I like them too. I feel like they suit me.
A lot of them can't.
I like the traditional style a lot.
They're trapped and turn to substance.
Not like tribal, but like American traditional, like what you see on like punk drummers.
Sometimes choosing to end their lives. I'm not going to name off every former child actor that's done this, by the way, because I think that would be in really poor taste. But it also feels in poor taste.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And
just don't name them.
That have done this.
I mean, name them, but like don't just list them.
Aren't we? At this point, most of us are more surprised when a former child performer comes out of the industry normal than we are when one takes their own life.
There's an apprentice in the shop? Oh, that's super cool.
How messed up
I mean, even if they sucked, it's cool that you at least apprenticed, tried.
Today, not just the child star stuff, but everything. It would be
do you like do art, or did you just want to like fuck around and try tattoos?
Television. At least that's how I was feeling when I was making this. For months, all I did was spend my time diving into all the horrible dark rabbit holes, the stories of abusers and victims and cover-ups and bullying and controversies and lawsuits, and a lot of stuff that didn't even make it into this video because it was just too damn dark or depressing. While working on this video's research and script, I started wondering...
The coloring on bugs was so uncomfortable.
Am I creating something just to depress people? Just to make them feel bad about the shows they loved as kids? What's the value of content like this? It got so bad that I even started thinking about trashing the whole project and doing something less miserable. Until one night, when I ran across a video. This is a video recording of a 1969 Senate hearing. A hearing that was put together with one single goal: to decide whether or not the U.S. government should dramatically cut its $20 million public funding for PBS.
I think they said yes.
PBS, right?
Or no. They had like, if I remember correctly, like Mr. Rogers came and testified too, I'm pretty sure.
This video, but they air free public educational programming for kids.
I'll put a tree in Discord if you want. Yeah, go ahead. Drop a tree.
Public funds to make that happen. And if the Senate hearing went badly, those funds were about to get slashed. Leading the hearing was Senator John O. Pastor, a notoriously tough man with an equally notorious reputation for eliminating any government spending he thought was wasteful. And during the Senate hearing, it was becoming very clear he wanted PBS on the chopping block. Over several days, Pastor had listened to the testimony from various officials, executives, childhood educational advocates, and other people begging, pleading with him to keep PBS funded. You have to understand,
as they should.
PBS was the only free educational programming available to a lot of kids at the time.
It still is. Besides, like YouTube, and even like you need like an internet connection to use YouTube. Like PBS is still free. Like all you need is a television, which most people have, and an antenna. Those are the only. You don't need to like pay for a subscription. You don't need to pay any ongoing fee besides like your electric bill. Like PBS is still so essential.
Especially for kids in low-income families where something like Sesame Street might be the only educational content they had until entering first grade. But Senator Pastor wasn't having any of it. In preparation for the hearing, he actually hadn't watched very much of PBS's lineup, and with each passing speaker, he only seemed to get more and more aggressive with his questions. He would interrupt speeches, criticize, and challenge every opposing viewpoint. After all, in his mind, children's TV
those are good trees.
Cartoons and violence and mindlessness.
I like those trees.
Learning from that garbage, so why should the government be paying for it? Things looked pretty bleak for PBS.
They're like kind of,
The final day of the
I don't know.
hearing,
I like that they're
in perhaps the most
freaky. Like
hopeless
I don't
moment in television
want to sound mean,
history,
but they like look
asked one of their
gross.
newest
But I
show
like that they
to
look
speak up,
gross.
to do something, anything to help convince Senator Pasteur not to cut their budget. And the man they asked to talk.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Would you be mine?
Was a young Fred Rogers. For those of you who don't know him, Fred Rogers was the host of the children's television show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Airing alongside Sesame Street and other PBS content, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood focused on teaching very young kids.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got from.
About
It was
simple
like
stuff in life, like what firemen do,
like limbs.
hula hoop is, that sort of thing. But even with how young his audience was, Mr. Rogers
Like it's
believed
growing.
kids would have questions about more
Growing.
complicated topics. So sometimes he would discuss things like divorce or racial relations or disabilities, even sometimes
God, Mr. Rogers
accepting
was
death.
so good.
But he managed to talk about those things in a way that helped kids feel informed but safe, which is incredible. Rogers hosted his show for nearly 40 years, and by many Americans, this man is practically deified as a beacon of kindness, humility, and respect. But in 1969, Mr. Rogers was not the established, beloved figure he would later become. Most people.
Joe Perry gives me Mr. Rogers vibes. He's like adult Mr. Rogers. He's like Mr. Rogers for adults, I feel like.
Educational programming in the U.S. all on his shoulders, and he accepts the mic. Rogers takes out his prepared statement letter, but decides instead not to read it out loud. Dozens of people had read their statements to Pasteur already to no avail, so instead, Mr. Rogers.
So good. I almost saw him live, like I think last year sometime. It just didn't work out, but I thought about going to see him on his. I think he's on tour now, or he's about to go on tour.
Mr. Rogers says that he trusts Senator Pasteur will read that statement later on in his own time. Pasteur, still irritated from the last few days of the hearing, quickly snaps at Roger with,
"Will it make you happy if you read it?"
But Mr. Rogers quietly and politely says, no, he just wants to have a conversation. So that's exactly what they did. Rogers tells Pasteur about the simple life lessons they try to teach on his show, things like haircuts and family and everything. Throughout this talk, Pasteur seems a little taken aback. He doesn't interrupt Rogers like he had with previous speakers. He doesn't challenge Rogers on how every dollar is being spent every single moment. He just listens. Rogers talks about how this show tries to impart to children how they value.
So compelling. This Mr. Rogers has this aura that makes even a fucking asshole listen to him. Like, just impeccable vibes. Impeccable vibes. Mr. Rogers passes all the vibe checks.
Roger talks about the drive he has of giving children that gift in life. That
yeah, if you go ahead and if you can find the scene, link it in the chat. I'll pull it up after this. I don't think this has too much longer either.
And then, do you know what he does? Mr. Rogers, this little nobody in the big Senate hearing, this Pennsylvania bumpkid David out of local access television in front of the Goliath senator, in front of the hearing, in front of the country. He reads the lyrics of a song he wrote for kids.
Could I tell you the words of one of the songs which I feel is very important? Yes. What do you do with the
God, and he's so sweet. And like the senator, even the senator is like, yes, of course, go ahead, please. Like at the end of this, he's like, absolutely, say whatever you want to. You can beat me to death, and I will thank you.
You feel when you feel so mad you could bite, when the whole wide world seems oh so wrong, and nothing you do seems very right. What do? Do you punch a bag? Do you pound some clay or some dough? Do you round up friends for a game of tag or see how fast you go? It's great to be able to stop when you've planned a thing that's wrong and be able to do something else instead and think this song. I can stop when I want to, can stop when I wish, can stop anytime. And what a good feeling to feel like this. And know that the feeling is really mine.
God,
know that there's something deep inside that helps us become what we can.
As Rogers finishes,
so good,
moment of quiet. Then Senator John O. Pasteur, the hard-hitting Washington bureaucrat, looks at Mr. Rogers, and he smiles, and he says,
Looks like you just earned the $20 million.
That's fucking just so good. So good.
You could argue that what Rogers talked about and sang about on that day, the words themselves, they didn't matter. Those weren't what convinced Pasteur. No, it was seeing an individual with a genuine passion for the real inner needs of kids. Pasteur knew that the money for PBS, well, it was never going to make financial returns, but it could be going to someone sincerely devoted to helping young children learn and to teach them that they have value every single day. And $20 million is a small price to pay for that.
There's only one in this wonderful world. You are special.
The story of that hearing, well, it reminded me, yeah, there's an ugly side of kids' television. There's controversies, dangerous ads, horrible industry practices, but the majority of people who work in kids' TV are the ones we didn't talk about today. The fiercely dedicated creators, writers, animators, crew, performers, directors, and more that do their best to create something special that speaks to kids, to create media to help kids understand how to process their feelings, to learn about something new, to be told they have value, to see that they aren't alone in their growing experiences, to be told it's okay to be who you are, whoever you are, to joke about the impenetrable world of grown-ups and all their silliness, to enjoy the weird and the quirky, and maybe even for a young kid who always felt like he didn't fit in, to come home every day after school and have something that made him feel less lonely. As for David Yost, well, you'll be happy to know he's in a much better place now.
Thank God.
He was, in time, able to embrace his own sexuality and would return to the industry as both an actor and as a producer. And not only that, but he's gone on to use his Power Ranger status to raise money.
I feel like I've heard his name attached to like non-Power Ranger stuff. Hold on. I'm already spelling his name wrong. No, I guess not. Or maybe he's just like primarily known. But I feel like I've heard it. Maybe it's just because I'm in the fucking. I've been watching, not watching, but like reading the Power Rangers so much. Because I don't know. Again, the whole fucking Super Sentai thing threw me for a loop. I had to go down that rabbit hole.
LGBT plus acceptance and equality. He was able to turn a terrible part of his life into a platform to help others who were going through what he himself went through. And maybe most exciting for me, while I was making this video, it was announced that Yost is coming back to Power Rangers. That's right. Yost as Billy is coming back for the 30th anniversary season, premiering next year, I think. And I cannot tell you.
I don't think I ever watched that whole thing. I think I only watched a clip where like all the Rangers showed up on a mountainside.
For all the crap David Yost dealt with all those years ago, then using that suffering as a way to help people who suffered like he did, and then to make a return to the show in this new, healthier place, well, there's nothing ugly about that. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
That was a good video.
Platypirus.
Hi there. Do you enjoy Paper Wheel content but don't want to wait 8 friggin' months between videos?
Is this just the credits? Okay. Yeah, that was a great video. I really like that. I mean, it wasn't... I mean, obviously, pretty fucking... sad. Yeah. I can make... let me see. I think there should be, yeah, ideas and feedback. If you go there, I think it's an open channel. If it's not, I can open it up. But I'm pretty sure it's an open channel. If you go there, you can just, yeah, any like suggestions, recommendations, feedback, anything like that. Let me, whoops. That's the wrong. Ah! That's the wrong browser. That's the wrong browser. Stop. I opened the wrong browser. Oh my god. Oh my god. Please, I'm begging. Just click. There we go. Christ. God. Fucking fantastic. Ah! It popped up a big thing. I know it was gonna be that. Okay, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a break, really quick. Go get my cat some water. Go get me something to drink. And then I'm gonna boot up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. We're gonna play arcade mode. It's been quite a few months since I played it, so hopefully I don't fucking suck ass. But I fucking love the game. It's so good. I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I love a good beat 'em up. It's fantastic. So if you want to, stick around for that, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, let's fucking do this. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking do this. Why don't any of the Ninja Turtles have a heavy fucking New York accent? Oh wait, no, I don't want to do arcade mode. I'm fucking stupid. I want to do survival mode. That's fine, I'm not gonna change the title. That's cool, it's whatever. It's not that important. It's fucking Shredder's Revenge. 11 people are watching this at all times. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay to fucking mistitle it. Obviously, I'm gonna be Donatello. Ooh, which skin though? I'm going with the 2003 cartoon. Wait, do I already have all of his... How do I go back? Oh. Shit. I guess I have to start it. I think I already have all of his... crystals. Hold on. Let me back the fuck out of here. Let me get the fuck out of Omni Channel 6. I need to do this with different turtles. Quit run, yeah. I think I already have all Donnie's crystals. Wait, let me go back. Crystal collection! What am I, stupid? No, I have all but 2. So, wait, no. That doesn't make sense. Oh, I don't have all of his crystals. Why did it give me the option to choose the starting level then? So, okay, I'll try to finish off Donatello's crystals. Welcome back. Welcome back. I can always count on you, smelling degenerates. Loyal to a fault. You'll be the first to cancel me. I'm obviously going to start at level 5. That's going to get me the closest to... Should I have done that? No, it's fine. It's fine. I need 90 crystals. I'm not going to be able to do this on the first run. I've not played this in a while. Ah! Shit. Okay. Not great so far. Nope, I haven't unlocked the power. Fuck! My microphone's too low. I can't fucking... Ah! Okay. Not great. Stop! Okay, these guys are fucking annoying. Because you have to, like, go up, and you have to kick him from the... Ow! Kick him from the top. Or not even from the top, from the back. Or just throw him. And I can't get fucking close to these guys until they hit. Ow! See? See, I'm not gonna be able to do this on the first fucking run. That wasn't awesome. Is there a... There's not like a, what's the... What am I thinking of? What's the display? Whoa! I can put a filter on this? It smells shit. Did a cat just shit, or did a dog shit? I think it was a cat. I'm not seeing no shit. God. That's my worst, like, fear. Is, like, one day, my dogs are just, like, gonna get bored, not wanna... Just, you know, just not gonna wait till go outside, and they're just gonna, like, shit behind me on stream, and I'm not gonna see it, but, like, everyone else is. I think we're gonna have the VCR filter on. I need the help. I'll go for the help. VHS filter is so fucking weird. It's like wobbly. I feel like is it making the game run slower? I can't tell. Ouch! Is the game running at full FPS? I cannot tell. It being like a fuck. Okay, I fucking hate this guy. I'm not gonna survive. I'm not gonna survive this. There we go. Thank God. Looks fine to you? Okay. Since it's just like a beat 'em up, I can never tell if it's just like supposed to. I don't know. It's hard to tell for me. I'm fucking dead! I fucking see. I wasn't gonna be able. Oh, I'm back alive. I'm back alive. I have another health. I have another life. I've unlocked that feature. Didn't you guys know that turtles have 2 lives? They're like cats, except worse. They live for 90 years, and then they die and regenerate like a Time Lord. I want to do the POW pizza, I think. Can't exactly remember what it does, but I'm pretty sure it's good. Because it just makes me, yeah, instantly into this mode. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they never even fucking stood a chance. It's over before it begun. Get fucking destroyed. Ow! The Psy guys are my least favorite, I think. The portal's gonna open up right on that crystal. God damn. Oh, that works. That's what I wanted anyways. Give me those crystals. Ah! Next time I die, I'll check it out. Because I can't really. Ah! I mean, I can pause. But it'll take me out of the zone, the gamer zone. Ow! Fucking hell! I keep forgetting about the spikes. Stop! I should keep them there. Are you fucking serious? Whoa! Where did the dinosaur come from? Pteranodon? Or... no, I know it's not Triceratops. But I can't remember what they're called in the show. Ow! Fuck you! Stop! I'm gonna cry. Okay, I can check it out now. Oh fuck, I have exclusive full screen. Oh, I like that. It's a good vibe. How do I... Oh. I have it open the wrong tab. Or, do you want me to show this on stream? Okay. This is cool. It's a good vibe. Good vibes. Good vibes. I like the astronaut stuff. Alright. Yep. Alright, back in the gamer zone. I didn't know people still blogged. And I'm dead. Wait, what happens now? Oh, and just game. Oh, no, it's it. I guess it's been a minute since I gamed over before. Alright, fuck it. Let's run it again. I'll just start at 1. I'll work my way up. I won't get. I got 2. I got overzealous. I won't get ahead of myself this time. Fucking hell. Stop. Ow, ow. You idiot, you hit me into this crystal. Fuck! Knock it off. Fuck! What? You hit me from behind? How? Did a blog recently about the rainy night in space and how God is dead and the ocean is full of trash. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Is the blog making a return? Fuck! Turtle got hit by a car. Is the day of social media dead and the blog is re-emerging? No! I fell in a hole! You're bringing it back. Make blogging cool again. I wish they would give me health, that'd be fucking helpful. Oh! Ow! They hit me! With a motorcycle. You can't hit a turtle with a motorcycle, that's illegal. I thought they were like environmental protections or something. Whoa, you can't hit a fucking turtle with a grenade. Ow! What am I supposed to do? Stop! Stop! No! Stop! Please, you're shooting. I thought you were supposed to be extinct. Give me help, I'm begging you. Wait, no, if I do this, the level's over. Big brain. Big brain. I barely survived that, what the fuck? What do you mean the challenge is increasing? Whoa, it's snowy. That's how you know shit's serious. Ah! Whoa! Stop! Fuck you! Stop! I hate these guys. They have shields, they're big. I fell in a hole? I fell in a hole. You're telling me Donatello, the fucking genius, the fucking genius check guy of the group, fell in a hole. Turtle power. Should have gone for the crystals. Where they rock. Oh, wait! No, this is the wrong one! I thought it was the other one! Fuck, 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 fuck! This is dog shit, this is dog shit! Why'd I do this to myself? What am I doing? Stop! Stop! Get out of here! Use a fucking rocket launcher? Why don't I have one? Bro, bad aim. You're not even, like, remotely close to me. Stop! Ah! Whoa, I didn't see that guy. I suck. None of these are good. What does this one do? It just beats him up, right? Stop! Ow, you bitch! And the side guys. No, you fuckers!
Teenage, let's kick some shell! Select your hero. Mondo Notion, dude!
You fucking say it, Michelangelo. Michelangelo's a cool dude. You got spicy food in your eye? Why? Are you fucking stupid? Why are you putting spicy food in your eye? You're supposed to put it in your mouth. You rubbed your eye with spicy food. Yeah, again, it's supposed to go in your mouth. You know you aren't supposed to put spicy food in your eye. Ow, 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 ow. I don't even need help. I'm just gonna take the points. I'm gonna take the crystals, the minerals. Whoa, dodging. Ooh, ba 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 ba. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, it's like fucking 300. They're just raining arrows upon me. Get the bug out of here. Oh, you're gonna shoot plunges out of here? Fuck you, get out. Ow. I'm being obnoxious. Please, stop! Really? That's the move? I just nunchuck back and forth? Are you just gonna say the same thing every time? Is your eye okay? Oh fuck, it's a boss level. Oh shit! Why did it fucking stop? Stop! Stop! Oh, my health is bad. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Fuck! I'm dead. I'm gonna rip this controller in half. I got rocked steady. Try again. Eyes back to 100% functionality, Captain. Status report. Status report on the eye. I'm getting a transmission from chat. Eye is back to 100% functionality. Ah! Nope, wrong way. Stop! Ow! You thought... Get fucking wrecked! Oh my god. I'll get a whole fucking Star Trek layout here. I'll get a captain's chair. I'll wear like a whole like Enterprise uniform. High collar. I'll shave my head like Picard. Ow! That'd be fun to do for like Halloween. Do I take the 30 or do I take the 30? Get out of the cat water! Ow! Jesus fucking Christ. Let me go! Okay, this is ridiculous. Oh, please give me a pizza. Are you shitting me? Are you fucking... I don't know what this one does. Totally rad. Activates radical mode and keeps it active until being hit. Radical! I start throwing grenades and bricks through like Wendy's windows. So what the fuck is radical mode? Fuck! I just deactivated radical mode as soon as I asked a question. Should have spoken. Should have kept my white mouth shut. Should have shut my white ass up and listened. Sat my white ass down and listened. Fuck it, I'll take the 20. Maybe they're gonna bring my health back. It won't be that nice though. I have one hit left. I'm gonna die. Right here. And now. See? I'm dead. What's even the point? Why do I do this to myself? What's the point? Oh, extra HP added. Great. 1 extra HP. Awesome. Perfect. That'll save me. I haven't really done anything with Splinter or Casey or... I fucking hate Leonardo. He's Splinter. Whoa, he's green. He's a ghost. Marriage. We're going to marriage. Gale Force? What the fuck? What is... Why? If this is the first level, why are you adding bonus shit on? What did I do to deserve this? I'm just a rat. I'm just a rat. What is this bullshit? You have Splinter. You really, really have. I'll turn into Shredder now. I'll turn into Shredder and I'll shred him up. Now I'm Shredder and I'm gonna shred it up. It's shredding time. Ah! This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. I'm just gonna bounce around the screen. Can't catch me. They can never catch me. Whoa, where'd these guys come from? Get out of here. The world is mine. Alright, there we go. It's like, why is this? Why am I? What the fuck is going on here? Why am I not going through the portal? What the damn? What the heck? What the heck? Why am I not going through this? Why am I not going through this freaking portal? Do you think the Foot Clan's really confused by Shredder's punching them? They're like, whoa, 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 dude, what the fuck? What did I do wrong? It's like if you just showed up for work and your like manager, I don't know, just like beat the shit out of you. I don't know. That's like the only comparison I have since he's their boss. I thought I heard a dog in the cat water. Turns out I'm just crazy. It's a real Son of Sam situation. Pow Pizza. Give me the Pow Pizza. Whoa, what does the Pow Pizza plus Shredder do? What am I about to unlock? Oh. That's kind of bullshit. And I just fall into the hole? I can't jump over it? Bullshit. Bullshit. Oh, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Oh, I should've got that crystal. God damn it, stop punching me, you bastard! You bastard! I'd call you a rat bastard, but I'm the rat bastard. Do you think you're scaring me with your fucking fly zapper? Bug zapper? Little mosquito zapper? I think I could fight Splinter and win. IRL. I could tear him apart. Not even a second thought. I wouldn't even wait for him to start fighting. I'd catch him off guard, grab him by the tail, just fucking... I'd rip his spine out through his tail. He wouldn't even see it coming. He would not see it coming. I'm telling you right now. He's only as smart as a rat. Cool, he knows karate. I know how to use a gun. If I come across Splinter, it's fucking over. Ow! I fucking hate these laser beam. What the shit was that? That's not the special move. That's not my ultimate finisher. That's not my stone cold stunner. What happened? That's a different move. You can't just pull out new moves on me without explaining that shit. You can't just introduce new mechanics. Like when I'm pressing a button, it fucks it up. Fuck you. Pizza.
Or minerals, little crystals, gems.
Pizza.
Crystals, gems, precious little gems. I could sell them.
Pizza. Replenish health. Pizza to replenish health. Health pizza.
Little gems. Gems, gems, gems.
Pizza because it gives me potential to get more gem. Smart, I'm thinking ahead. Not like a child. Bouncing baddies! That sounds like a fucking Pornhub category. Why are they bouncing? No one's bouncing. Because they jump slightly? Ow! No one bounced. Ooh, I'm gonna become Shredder. Like a little Spider-Verse portal. Ow, I thought I... Ba 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 ba. I don't even know what this serum does. Does it take away my shredder? Let's try it. I don't think it does, right? Teletaunt! Become invulnerable while taunt and teleport to a random location. Whoa, last 3 rounds. Like taunt. RB. I'm taunting. It didn't make me invulnerable. It's bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. What the fuck is going on? Come on. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm fucking talking about. That's what we fucking do here. Okay, now how do I do this taunting bullshit? I don't think my RB works or something. There we go! I'm gonna shoot myself. Stay away from the edge. Whoa, bombs. Uncalled for. You brought a bomb to a rat fight. Bomb. Brought a bomb to a rat race. Yeah, I'll take the pizza. Again, gives me potential for more gem. Ow! Get the fuck out of here. There we go. That was a quick level. Or did I just, like, blank for, like, 8 minutes? I get some good progress with Splinter, right? I didn't get this far with, Michelangelo. I'm okay. low gravity? Are you fucking with me? What am I doing? I definitely was hitting in the right direction. Ow! 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 I wish they would change up the voice lines just a tad, just a little bit. Please, please. Is Freakazoid's a slur? Can you use the Zoid? Oh, let me go! Get out of here. Get out of here! Oh, fuck. Oh no. Oh no. Stop, stop, stop! That's how it's done. That's what I'm talking about. That's why we do it. That's how we do it. That's what we do it for. Some say... I don't know where I was going with that. Shit, my fucking balls out. I'm getting real sick and tired of these blue motherfuckers. Me talking about the Blue Man Group. Seeing them on another billboard. The world is mine. Yeah, I'll take that pow pizza. Get the pow, fucking pow, right in the kisser. Is that from Family Guy? Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Ow. Hate these little doggos. Fucking little robot fucking dogs. Little fucking freaks. What are you? You think you're a dog? Just because you look like a dog doesn't make you a dog. You're a fucking freak, okay? Understand that. Get that through your thick fucking metal robot fucking skull. Just because you got jaws, just because you kind of look like a fucking dog does not make you a dog, okay? When did that guy die? Speaking of dead people, Carl Weathers died. That's all I have to say about that. Speaking of dead guys, fucking Splinter just died. God damn it. That's the end of that, I guess. Extra HP point. Ooh, unlock new palette. Extra ninja power bar added. Fuck yeah, awesome. Well, like I said, that's the end of that. We've hit the 3-hour mark. That's usually when I dip it out of here. So, I'm gonna have to call it quits for the night. Bye. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, we're going back to the regularly scheduled program from here on out since it's February and that fucking lame ass L January anymore. So yeah. Bye.